Sam, tomorrow at 4 p.m., the NHL waiver draft will be conducted. Each team can protect 17 skaters and 2 goaltenders. Here's a look at the list and some notable names who are unprotected for tomorrow. Gillies and Bourne of the Islanders. Wilf Paymon of the Rangers. Kontos, number 1, 1982 draft choice of the Rangers. Dave Bichette, defenseman of the Devils. Don Edwards, Dan Bouchard, and Nicky Fotiu. Earlier today, I spoke to Terry Simpson, the new skipper of the New York Islanders, and I talked to him about the waiver draft. Terry, why were Bourne and Gillies unprotected players in the waiver draft?
Well, I think the situation, almost explains itself. We felt that we did have adequate competition, coming in from behind this year, and I think it's exposed itself at the camp. And therefore, both Borney and Gillies had hard working camps, but, their effectiveness didn't appear to be all that great, at least in terms of it appeared as though they could possibly be replaced by some other players, and that's exactly how it's come down in the end.
Are you essentially saying that you're going to go with the youth movement?
We're not saying that exactly. I think we're saying that we're going to hopefully try to go with the best players, and if somebody comes along that proves over the course of, say, a training camp or a 10-game segment in the season or whatever, that they can do the job better than someone that we have there, then I guess we're prepared to make that change.
What is the major question mark as far as this team is concerned?
Well, to date, I guess, we've been trying a lot of combinations on defense. I think that's probably an area that we're looking at. We're not scoring as easily as we'd like to up front, but then in all fairness, we've tried so many different combinations, we really haven't settled in on anything. We approached the camp this year as doing a lot of experimenting, and we haven't really had a line set from the start of the training camp, so that may account for some of our lack of production up front. But I guess, we're always looking at trying to shore up defensively, and we still have 9 defensemen in camp, and I'd say that'd be one of the areas that we're looking at.
And briefly, the transition for you coming to the National Hockey League as head coach.
Well, that's only going to start in the next couple of months, because training camps are the same pretty well in junior hockey or at any level. I would suppose it's a matter of evaluation continuously and player evaluations, identification, stuff like that. So now I think the transition is going to start to take place, and it's going to be a very interesting job, no question.
Special. It's had many memorable moments, especially in their tension-filled playoff meetings. The Rangers' top moment came in 1979. But not only the playoff games are intense. When the Rangers and Islanders meet, there are no pleasantries exchanged, and no one gets invited to dinner. And there are always some star performers. It's exciting hockey when the Rangers and Islanders get together. And they meet in the final game of preseason tonight. The regular season begins Thursday night. This is the final tune-up. The New York Rangers meeting the New York Islanders. Hello, everyone. I'm Sam Rosen. It's a pleasure to welcome you to New York Rangers hockey. Rangers will be taking a look at some players. A couple of new players in the lineup as well. Well, one just acquired in a trade with the Edmonton Oilers, and we will talk about him in just a moment. Joining me tonight is Sal Red Light Messina, sitting in for John Davidson, who we hope will be with us on Thursday night. And Sal, the trade for Don Jackson, it brings a veteran defenseman to the Rangers.
And a tough defenseman, and I think the Rangers looked for that last year on the left side as well. They had to move James Patrick over to that side during last season. I think they'll still use him there, but this strengthens that side of the ice. He's tough, he's strong in front of the net, and I think he'll help them. He's out of the University of Notre Dame. He played regularly for Edmonton for 4 years, and to play with that club, he had to have something, and I hear that something is a lot of desire and heart.
The other factor for tonight is the Rangers will be moving some people around into the center position because 3 centers are injured. Kelly Kissio is out, Ron Greshner is out, and Ramo Helmanen is out.
Well, Bob Brook will be back, and Ridley, of course, when the season opens. And I think Coach Ted Sater is looking for that 4th center iceman. But Dubney has played both center and left wing on the past road trip, and he looked good at center ice the other night after Kissio was injured. So he'll be playing center tonight. Larouche will be there tonight, but I still say he's going to be back on right wing.
Well, Ted Sater said he's going to play him on the right wing, but he knows knows how to play center, so he figured he'd give him a little experience in there, a little work there, just in case he needs to move him to that spot.
And Thomas Sandstrom, who normally has played right wing for the Rangers, a little bit of left wing. He's going to be playing center tonight. They like the way he handles the puck and likes to freelance, and maybe they'll get a look at him there.
Should be very interesting. The Rangers and the Islanders have hit the ice. For a look at the Islanders' view of things, let's go back to ice side and Bruce Beck.
Thank you, Sam. The Islanders are 3-4-2 in the preseason, but they have lost only one of their last 4 games. This is a very different New York Islander team. The makeup has changed dramatically from the team that last won the Stanley Cup championship in the 1982-83 season. Look at some of the players who are no longer with the club. Bobby Nystrom, now an assistant coach. John Tonelli in Calgary. Butch Goring, the Bruins coach. Mike McEwen in Hartford. And perhaps tomorrow, Bob Bourne and Clark Gillies, who were left unprotected, will also be members of that list. But the New York Islanders are still upbeat as they look forward to the 1986-87 season. They still believe they will be in the hunt for the playoffs. And they still have the nucleus: Smith, Bossy, Trottier, and Dennis Potvin. It may be just the preseason, but all you have to say is Rangers and Islanders, and it's coming up next.
For the second time in preseason, they played a 5-5 tie at the Nassau Coliseum on September the 25th. Rangers playing 4 games on that western swing, defeating Vancouver, losing to the Calgary Flames in Calgary, losing to the Flames again in San Francisco, and then the shutout of the St. Louis Blues in San Francisco, 4-0. John Van Beesbrook stopping 20 shots. The new coach of the New York Islanders, Terry Simpson, who was a very popular and very successful coach in junior hockey up until this year. Now the crowd at Madison Square Garden on its feet. We're set for the singing of our national anthem. Let's go to Ellen Hartstern. Smith in goal.
15-year veteran, lost some weight this year. Come down about 10, 15 pounds. And you see that big crease that they've experimented with?
I bet he loves it.
He loves it, but he more than anybody is the reason that crease is there. He has complained for years and years about goaltenders being interfered with, and they finally listen. And I hope they keep that rule. That'll be voted on, I think, Monday or Tuesday.
Doug Sotart starts for the Rangers. He'll play the first half of the game.
He was with the Rangers for 6 years at one time. Winnipeg, Montreal. Sotart, I think, will fit the backup role just marvelously. He did an excellent job at Montreal. And you know what? He was the regular goaltender in Montreal before he was injured, and Roy played the balance of the season.
Dave Newell, the referee. Pat Tupuzzo, Mark Vines, the linesman. And centering off, Thomas Sandstrom for the Rangers, Pat LaFontaine for the Islanders. And here we go. The final preseason game. Laidlaw pushing it ahead, and into the Islander zone it goes. Gordoni, number 2, after the puck, and after him is Sandstrom. Takes it away nicely, goes back to the point. Shot by Melnick, deflects wide of the net. Side of the net. Digging for it is Eriksson. He's bumped there. Eriksson still with the puck. Works his way free. Look at Smith swing the stick, then put it through the crease and went off the skate of either Sandstrom or Dineen. Rangers keep it in. Sandstrom and Dineen go to the corner. In comes John Eriksson, but a whistle stops play as the puck bounces out of the rink, stopping the action.
That's a good play by Billy Smith. Eriksson working and working behind the goal line in the Islanders zone. Did a marvelous job, but Smith, by swinging that stick, he's really not going to hurt anybody because the player has the shin pads and the skates on, but he does prevent. Here you see Smith. Now he prevents Eriksson from making a play. He missed the puck, hit the stick. Eriksson did recoup, however, and get that puck on net.
Interesting. They talk about Kelly Rudy establishing himself as the #1 goaltender, but I don't know if you push Billy Smith out of the picture that quickly.
You think he lost 10, 15 pounds over the summer for no reason at all, Sam? I don't think he wants to be relegated to #2, which could happen if Rudy plays as well as he has in the last couple of years.
I think you're right. Rangers have Huber and Karkner on at the points. Walt Podubny centering for Don Maloney and Lucien Deblois. Down went Ken Leiter. Smith plays the puck around the boards. The penalty's coming up. It's against the Rangers. The late penalty against the Rangers. Leiter was tripped up, and a penalty called.
I think it was Deblois. Leiter had the puck and made the move to the right with Billy Smith. It was Deblois coming to poke the puck away, and here you see Leiter was trying to make this Islander team, and there you see Deblois going for the puck, missed it, and took the skates right out from under Kenny Leiter. Lucien Deblois, his second hitch with the Rangers, going into the penalty box. How about Deblois and Sotar? Both started with the Rangers. Both have played with Winnipeg. Both have played with Montreal. And now they're both back with the Rangers.
Only stop Sotar didn't make was Colorado with
That's
Deblois.
right. Lucien in the Barry Beck trade.
There's a look at Walt Podubny. As Sal mentioned, the coaches were looking at Podubny on left wing, but with the injuries to the center iceman, he's been moved back to center. Deblois gets tripping at 43 seconds. Islander power play. LaFontaine and Podubny on the draw. Islanders have Tom Weiss, number 32, out there, along with Mikko Makela, number 24, Pat LaFontaine, Steve Conroy, number 33, Ken Leiter, number 4. Bossy, Trottier, Potvin not suited up tonight for the Islanders. This is Makela taking it across. Nice feed to LaFontaine, but they were offside. LaFontaine a stride ahead over the blue line.
Does a lot for the Islander power play when Bossy, Potvin, and Trottier are not there. But here's a guy who's developing. Pat LaFontaine, his 3rd year with the Islanders. He's had some injuries. He had a bout of mononucleosis a couple of years ago. A real finesse player. Played with Team USA. Just an outstanding player from Detroit. Very good with the puck.
Islanders 10th in the National Hockey League on the power play last year. Kelly Miller taking the draw against LaFontaine. Jan Eriksson is out there. Don Jackson is out there for his first shift, number 29. Same number he wore with the Edmonton Oilers. Eriksson and LaFontaine, and now Eriksson is chased out, and now we'll get Willie Huber to take the draw. Sooner or later, they'll drop the puck.
Face-off in a neutral zone, not that important, though, Sam. Well, so certain people think, but Islanders win this face-off and gain the zone.
Makela, wrists at side of the net, deflected by LaFontaine, and Sotar got a piece. LaFontaine drops it back into the corner to Makela. Centered, gave it away to Eriksson. Out he comes with Miller on the right. Miller taps it ahead and goes in. Conroy is on him. Miller pushes it toward the net. It's picked up by the Islanders' Tom Weiss. Drops it off for Conroy. Double team, good hit by Miller. Conroy, who came from the Calgary Flames in that trade for John Tonelli late last season. LaFontaine pushing it ahead. Mikko Makela, second-year man from Finland. Willie Huber bangs it off the boards to Eriksson. Back comes Makela across the line. Excuse me, this is Bob Basson, number 20. Sends it around the boards to Dwayne Sutter. He's tied up by Eriksson. Basson off the skate of Sutter. Back to the point it goes. Shot by Randy Boyd is blocked by Eriksson. Good job by Jan Eriksson. And he sends it down. 40 seconds to go, the man advantage.
Oh, that's Eriksson's value. He did some excellent forechecking while the Islanders had the man up. He intercepted a pass in front, and there he covered the point very well. Stopped Boyd's shot from going through.
Also not suited up for the Islanders tonight is Brent Sutter. For the Rangers, James Patrick, Mike Ridley, Mark Osborne, Shel Samuelson, and Bob Brook. All sitting out. All are healthy and expected to play on Thursday night when the Rangers open the regular season against the New Jersey Devils here at Madison Square Garden. Good job of penalty killing for the Rangers. 10 seconds to go on the penalty to Lucien Deblois. Round the boards it goes. Richard Crum lets it go to Boyd for a shot wide of the net. Wayne Sutter is hit by Laidlaw. Loose puck in front. The backhander goes wide. Crum had the big chance in front. Puck pops loose. Here's There's Dwayne Sutter with a chance. Saves Sotart. The rebound bouncing wide of the net. Laidlaw sending it up the boards. Deneen keeping it in. Side of the net. Dwayne Sutter behind the net tries to center. He's knocked down by Melnick. Again, it's Dwayne Sutter. Wraparound try. Score! Great work by the Islanders, who kept putting the pressure on, taking the hit, and finally making the play.
Dwayne Sutter, the man who did it. Sutter, who's done it for 8 years. This is 8th season with the Islanders. Was stopped on an opportunity in front, but he dogged it. And that's his nickname, Dog. He dogged it in the corner. You'll see him behind the net. He'll come out this time. Nobody to stop him, and he just jams it as hard as he can. He gets blasted by Melnick right after he tucked it home, but he just blasted it through the pads of Sotart.
Great persistence on the part of Dwayne Sutter. The penalty had expired, so it's an even strength goal. The Islanders lead 1-0. Kenny Morrow, number 6, firing it down the ice. This will be an icing as Willie Huber gets there to make the touch. 16:35 to go. First period. Islanders 1, Rangers 0. First period, Islanders getting the first goal of the game.
Sutter's goal. Richard Crom and Randy Boyd picked up the assist. They kept that puck alive. Crom, a couple of good plays coming out of the corner. Took one big hit and still got out in front to help out.
Rangers were taking the body well, but the Islanders persisted. Sutter was knocked down first by Melnick. That shot was stopped by Billy Smith, and he covers up on the rebound.
Will Paymont getting the shot off. Soft backhand. Didn't have the leverage to get the shot off the face-off at Billy Smith. There you see it. It's a little bit of work. Now you're going to see Paymont with a backhand, but not a hard shot. Smith makes the save and then covers up. A little bit of holding going on in front, but that was Kenny Morrow in front of the net holding on, which allowed Smith to pick up that second save. There's Will Paymont. He was drafted the same year as Pierre Larouche, both coming out of junior league at the same time. Number 1 pick of Kansas City back 12, 13 years ago. He's available in tomorrow's waiver draft.
Tomorrow afternoon is the waiver draft, and he has been left unprotected. His team's allowed to protect 17 skaters, 2 goaltenders. And Paymont is on the unprotected list. Crom going for the puck. Huber sends it back into the Islanders zone. Ryan Curran, who was picked up from the Boston Bruins as a free agent, banged it off the boards. Rangers keep it in. Shot by McPhee is blocked, and it goes to the top of the circle where Paymont sends to Huber. In front, McPhee, the deflection. He scores on the rebound. George McPhee. It's tied 1-1.
Now, Sam, first preseason game, we talked about McPhee. If he can stay away from injuries, he has the knack of putting the puck in the net and knows what to do. There he was able to stay in front, and I think he got a piece of that first shot by Willie Huber, and Smith made a pass in there. No, he didn't get it. It looked like it went right through, but he was there for the rebound, and he tucked it home. Here you see
when Huber gets the puck, McPhee waves to him, and Huber saw him.
But that first shot didn't get through, and Smith had to worry about a deflection, so he could only throw out that right pad. He wasn't in position for the rebound, and that's when McPhee tucked it home.
Tied at 1. 4 minutes gone by in the first period. Round it goes. Hunpaw couldn't play it. It's knocked out of the zone. Deneen, number 2 for the Islanders. Norm McIver wearing number 37. Rangers signed him as a free agent out of Minnesota Duluth. Conroy sending it out to center. McIver has the puck. Offensive-minded defenseman Norm McIver handles the puck well, skates well. See him on Ranger power play efforts.
Size a problem, possibly, for McIver. Not very big, only 5'9", 5'10", 175 pounds, and that could pose a problem in the heavy NHL schedule.
Pass to Mike Donnelly, wearing number 22, the free agent out of Michigan State, who was signed as a free agent and has been playing well, played well on the road trip. Had a goal against St. Louis in the Rangers' 4-0 win in San Francisco on Friday night. Sotart stops the puck for Larry Melnick. Melnick teamed up with Tom Laidlaw. Rangers break out. Erickson centering pass taken by Ken Leiter, number 4. Islanders take it back and bring it on in. Bob Bassett, number 20, the backhander, hits Sotart in the chest, and Sotart covers it. Laidlaw took Bassin to the boards, bringing the cheers from the crowd. Play is stopped. 14:42 to go. First period. Tied 1-1. And the body checks are starting early. Morrow at the right point for a shot that deflects off the stick into the corner. DeBlois sends it off the skate of Maloney, and Morrow recovers. Banged off the boards down to the Rangers zone. This will be an icing. Melnick comes back, makes the touch. Icing called. Give us the scoring on the goal, Sal.
McPhee's goal, the Rangers tying goal, came at 3:54 of the first period. Huber and Paymont picked up the assists. Good shift. Both Paymont, who we mentioned, eligible for the draft tomorrow, but a good shift for Paymont. Had a good shot on goal. Dug the puck along the boards, got it back to Huber for the shot. Another fellow fighting for a job. Well, Podubny, I'd have to think that Podubny's going to be around.
I think
no doubt about that.
His size works to his benefit. The ability to play two positions.
Both positions, yes. Left wing and center ice. And right now with the problems the Rangers are having injury-wise at center ice, definitely a valuable addition.
Podubny centering for DeBlois and Maloney. Islanders control the draw. Basson winning. Morrow sends it around the boards. DeBlois try to keep it in. Basson looking for control. Podubny lifts it back, but it deflected back into the Ranger zone. Here comes Dwayne Sutter in with a shot. Saves Siltart. Loose puck, still loose. Alan Kerr hit high and hard by Laidlaw. Ooh. Close to an elbow as Laidlaw hit him real high. Podubny drives one from center. Smith stops it. Plays the boards. Rangers taking the body here in the first period. Huber sends it around to Maloney. Maloney bumped by Leiter. Centered back, but out of the zone past Karkner. And the Rangers regroup. Siltart out to play it. In center ice, Maloney has to go past him into the Islanders zone. Randy Boyd is up with it. Randy Boyd came to the Islanders from the Chicago Blackhawks last season and played well. Really helped the Islanders when they had some injuries to their defensemen. Played off the boards, almost given away. Huber's shot knocked down by Smith, still loose. Smith puts it in the corner. They dig for it there. Brian Curran, number 34, is tied up by two Rangers. It's loose. Karkner looking for it, then Curran gets rid of it. This is Dale Henry, number 26, across the line against Huber. Shot deflects off Huber. Siltart plays it into the corner for McPhee. Comes to Boyd along the boards. Now it's Courtco centering just past Tom Weiss. Loose puck picked up by Larouche. Coming up the right side. Boyd is back. McPhee open on the left. Larouche to McPhee. McPhee couldn't control it for a shot. Loose side of the net. Put through the crease by Larouche. And Curran sends it all the way down. Islanders want to stop a play. Jackson makes the touch, icing call.
A neat pass from Pierre Larouche to give George McPhee an opportunity, but an excellent play made in front of the Ranger net by Terry Karkner, which prevented the Islanders from scoring. And then the puck gets out to Larouche. There's Larouche's pass to McPhee. He tries a little tricky move on Smith. You see him curled his stick. Watch Larouche get in on it loose puck, and he didn't have the angle. But McPhee was trying to curl his stick and get Smith to open the legs as though he was shooting to the right corner. And as Smith opened his legs, he tried to curl it through the pads, and he just could not hold on to it, and it trickled behind the net. But Terry Karkner, an excellent play in front of the Ranger net, turned the play around as the Islanders had an opportunity with a 2-on-1 break.
Dave Gagne centering against the rookie Randy Wood, number 27. Right on. Randy Wood out of Yale University. Second to Bob Brook as the all-time leading scorer in Yale University hockey history.
2 points. He missed beating Bob Brook's record.
Norm McIver, number 37, with the puck. Sends to Don Jackson. Jackson in his first game as a New York Ranger. Knocked down by Chris Jensen, offside. Rangers went in offside. It was a delayed offside, and the puck staying in the zone, hitting a Ranger. Chris Jensen out of the University of North Dakota, a rookie who was signed after last year's collegiate season ended. Played some with the Rangers, the tail end of last season, and trying to find a spot for himself on the right wing.
He's picked up 2 goals in the preseason, and I think that's the reason he's getting another look at tonight, Sam, and plus the fact Pierre Larouche is playing up the middle and not on the right side. You look at the 3 forward positions, you have to look at right wing as the strongest position for the Rangers. More depth than any other.
Nice play by Donnelly getting the puck back to Jackson. Conroy pushing it to Crom. Back to Conroy. Steve Conroy, number 33, looks up ice. Forechecking is Jensen. Now Gagne comes in. Conroy lifts it out. McIver stops it. Nice pass to Donnelly. That's what McIver does so well. 3-on-2 across the line. Islanders break it up. Good play by Wood. Now the Islanders come down 3-on-2. Nice feed from Crom, and they score! Makela on a pretty setup from Richard Crom, and the Islanders take a 2-1 lead. Nice break across the line. The 3-on-2 turned into a 2-on-1, and the Islanders cash in.
And that's what you want to do. Make a 3-on-2 or 2-on-1. There's Crom, and he had the perfect play over to Makela, who puts it over Sotot. McIver, all he could do is try to intercept that pass and keep Crom wide. Crom was able to get the pass on the forehand in deep. But when you do get a 3-on-2, if you can isolate 2-on-1, that's perfect. And that's exactly what the Islanders did to score that goal.
In front for LaFontaine, just broken up by Melnick. LaFontaine with a puck there. Leaves it along the boards for Hanpa. Ari-Erik Hanpa, number 25, around behind the net. Laidlaw plays it. Near side for Eriksson. He was hit by Morrow. Islanders keep it in. LaFontaine back to the point. Pass. Leiter deflected off Pat DePuzzo, the linesman. Leiter recovers. LaFontaine comes back for it. 11 minutes to go in the first period. Islanders lead it 2-1. Morrow sends it sliding down the ice. Icing was waved off. Melnick is bumped there by Hanpa. Played around from Sandstrom to Miller. Kelly Miller wearing number 40 takes it down the ice. Miller across against Leiter. Against Curran. Try to shoot, blocked by Makela. Hanpa has it. Hanpa fires it out for LaFontaine. It's past him. And Terry Carkner goes back for it. The Rangers' number 1 draft pick in 1984. Terry Carkner sending it down the ice. Icing waved off. Smith plays it, but gave it away. Maloney has it. Whistle for a hand pass. 10:23 to go. First period. Islanders have regained the lead on the goal by Mikko Makela. 2-1. 10:29 left to go in the first period. Islanders with a 2-1 lead. But Dubny and Basson will take the draw. Season begins Thursday night here at Madison Square Garden. Rangers and the Devils. Across the line comes Deblois, sending it around the boards, and it's stopped by Smith for Gordonine. Wayne Sutter tried to take it across the line, took himself offside, but the Rangers cleared out. Come down 2-on-2. Podubny across with Maloney, trailing. Podubny shot. Smith's got it in the midsection. Just under 10 minutes to go in the first period. Rangers 7 shots on goal. Islanders have 6. Walt Podubny, who came from the Toronto Maple Leafs in the trade for Mike Allison. Dave Newell, senior referee. Rudy is also suited up for the Islanders tonight, but not expected to play. Actually, Billy Smith is expected to go the distance tonight.
That means Kelly Rudy opens the season for the Islanders on Thursday. We'll have
what
to
do you
see.
think?
No, I think Billy Smith, well, Terry Simpson is the new coach, and he's going to make you do things his way. You know, to Skillies and Bourne, both exposed to the draft tomorrow. I think he's more comfortable with the younger players too. You'd have to feel.
Well, you know, in a way, there are some similarities to the Rangers situation of last year. A new coach comes in, he's going to make his changes and make it take the form of his team.
You know, those are the players that played for Al Arbor so long, and there's something to that too.
McIver sends it into the Islanders zone. Smith stops the puck, leaves it for Morrow. Morrow up the boards for Dale Henry. He's checked by Gagne. Goes back to Morrow. Good forechecking here by the Rangers. Morrow trying to find an opening. Bangs it off the boards, but it hit Dave Newell. Now Chris Jensen fights his way to the goal line. Being checked by Henry. Jensen still with the puck. Back to McIver. Couldn't keep it in. Off his stick. McIver recovers. Back into the Islanders zone. Rangers would have been offside had Larouche touched the puck. They are offside on the delay. 9:03 to go. First period. Islanders leading the Rangers 2-1.
Lead in the final preseason game for both of these teams, and I'd have to think 3 or 4 players a significant game as far as winning jobs.
Rangers currently with 6 players injured, 5 players who are healthy and not in uniform tonight. So there are likely to be some roster moves, because you don't want to have too many players sitting around once the season starts. You want them playing.
Ted Sater wants a couple extra forwards and a couple of extra defensemen around, sir.
Melnick made a good play on Crom, who was coming in on the off wing, and Sandstrom picks up the puck. Tomas Sandstrom with Miller and Eriksson, and Sandstrom takes it in. Sandstrom against Brian Curran. Centers. It was deflected. Smith gets rammed into the post by Kelly Miller, and the net is knocked off the hinge.
That was Randy Boyd, excuse me, Sam. Randy Boyd trying to keep Miller away from a pass. Now Boyd was trying to take Miller's stick. Here you see the pass across, and you see Boyd just lean a little bit on Miller. Hey, Miller didn't get that much of a shove. He sort of glided in and was shoveling a little bit of snow into Billy Smith. Miller.
That's what Billy Smith is saying right now.
Absolutely. He's laughing about it. He's probably giving Dave Newell one of these. What about the crease? You know, he did run into me in the crease. Billy loves to voice his opinion, especially with referees. There's Norm McIver, a rookie out of University of, that's Kelly Miller, excuse me. Kelly Miller switching to number 40.
Giving Pierre Larouche back number 10. Off the face-off, Islanders control. Randy Boyd looks up ice, fires it ahead. Islanders come out. Brad Delgarno, one of 2 first-round draft picks last year for the Islanders. Nice feed, and it stopped. But a penalty call. Randy Wood going in was pulled down. Holding is the call, and the Islanders will have their second power play opportunity as Terry Karkner gets called for holding.
Game. They scored right after the first one when Deblois was in the penalty box. Terry Karkner gets the penalty for holding. The time 11:53. Nice feed, Delgarno into Randy Wood, who's out of Yale University. We were just talking about him, Sam. Excellent acceleration.
Yes.
He just put the speed on. Puck on the backhand, and Karkner had to pull him down.
Fontaine, Makala, Leiter. Rangers control. Maloney comes out. Conroy is out there along with Hanpa for the Islanders power play. Rangers have Jackson and Huber back on defense. Deblois and Maloney up front. Good work. Now it's Hanpa with the puck. 4-on-2 breakout for the Islanders. LaFontaine takes it across the line. Here's Makala centering. They score. What a play. Makala to LaFontaine. A beautiful pass from Mikko Makala. 3-1 Islanders.
And the good play, LaFontaine, you'll see as he sets it up to give it to Makala. And Makala was at his LaFontaine crossing the line. Nice soft pass. Now Makala is forced on the angle. He just puts it in front. That hit off LaFontaine's skate and went right into the net. He is skating towards the net, so he did not kick it in deliberately. And watch LaFontaine. That's a nice pass. Now LaFontaine goes for the net, and Makala just puts it in the middle, and it looked like it hit off of Pat LaFontaine's skate and went in. But Makala made the smart play. Everybody going to the net, and he put that puck right in the slot.
There's a situation, a beautiful breakout by the Islanders, and they capitalized. Skating well tonight.
Brought both forwards in and had that 3-on-2 coming into the zone.
Power play goal. Islanders lead 3-1. Islanders led 1-0. Rangers tied it. And the Islanders have scored 2 unanswered goals. Don Jackson, number 29, sending it around the boards. Boyd toward the net wide. Bangs off the boards. Dwayne Sutter centering pass deflects to Bob Basson. Basson, number 20, with a puck. Weaves his way toward the net. Lost control on the backhand pass. And a whistle stops play. The net was knocked off. Dave Newell maybe calling double penalties here. He's talking to Doug Sotart, who got mixed up.
Sotart was involved
with Alan Kerr
in front of the net. Kerr wears number 10 for the Islanders, pointing to his eye, talking to one of the linesmen, and feels that maybe Sotart got his stick up in the air. But Kerr being escorted to the penalty box as we look at Doug Sotart, who's had 3 goals, and the puck's not bouncing his way.
Islander penalty, number 10, 2 minutes for interference.
was referee?
That was
Dave
Dave Newell.
Referee.
The referees
yeah.
are mic'd and hooked into the public address system in the arena to announce the penalties to the crowd. So penalties are for interference.
And they don't mention names. They just mention numbers. That's all referees go by.
Skating 5 aside. And Kortko almost had a shot. It was knocked away.
Number 10 of the Islanders, Alan Kerr.
Mike Donnelly across the line. Donnelly goes to the goal line, centers off the stick of Smith and up into the crowd. Stopping play. 6:56 to go in this first period.
Donnelly picked up his first goal on that road trip out to San Francisco for the New York Rangers in a first squad team. It's Pat LaFontaine who scored that last goal for the Islanders to give them the 3-1 lead. LaFontaine out of the state of Michigan. There's Pierre Larouche, number 10, back in his old position tonight, center ice.
Larouche had a power play goal in the 4-0 win over St. Louis, and that's important. That's something the Rangers desperately need an improvement on over last year when the power play was one of the weakest in the National Hockey League.
Two guys from Quebec on the same line, Larouche and Paymont, both drafted in the same year. Paymont ahead of Larouche, but Larouche has gone on to score. He's over 350 goals. His career is almost parallel. They've been shuffled around a bit. Had the good goal-scoring years. I think Paymont is approaching 350 goals. Larouche went over that mark towards the end of last season.
Paymont wins the draw. That shot sticked aside. Good shot by Melnick. Low, hard drive. Penalties upcoming on the Islanders. Rangers keeping the puck alive along the boards. The whistle stops play. Holding is the call. The Rangers will have their first power play opportunity of the game. 6:46 to go in this first period. 3-1 Islanders. Rangers power play coming up.
By Randy Boyd right in front of the Islander cage. Boyd drawing a 2-minute penalty for holding the time. 13-14. Rangers first power play.
Previous penalties were Sandstrom and Kerr for interference at 12:43. That shot from the point by Laidlaw goes wide, and the Islanders clear down. Laidlaw, McIver on the ice for the Rangers. Laidlaw chased by Randy Wood. Boy, he almost forced him right into his zone net. What a play by Wood.
He can skate. He's shown that here in this period. One of the many rookies that are vying for jobs for the Islanders.
Across the line comes Pierre Larouche with a quick shot that's wide. Laidlaw sends it ahead along the boards. Paymont centering. Squirts loose, but Conroy gets over to play it and send it all the way down.
Guy to look for on the power play for the Rangers tonight is this man picking up the puck right here, Norm McIver. The Rangers have been very impressed with him working with James Patrick, who's not dressed tonight. But they feel that McIver alone can control the power play, and you add him with Patrick, and it really is a plus for them.
Islanders able to break up that play and clear down. 1:05 to go on the man advantage. 5:50 to go in the first period. Islanders with a 3-1 lead. Terry Karkner sending it out of the zone past Donnelly. Broken up by Leiter. Donnelly getting it back. Now Karkner along the boards is tied up. Donnelly for Paymont, who is heading for the bench, but gets the puck and comes in. Now it's Dave Gagne. Checked by Basson. Gagne holds it. Gagne to Huber for the drive. Hit the crossbar. Blast by Huber, a rising shot, had Smith beaten but hit the bar. Sotart gets a stick on it. Roger Kortko, number 11, tied up with Gagne. In comes Huber for a hit. Gagne has the puck. 25 seconds to go on the power play. Donnelly past the center to Jensen, gets it back. Donnelly across the line. Donnelly with room, and he shot it wide. Huber at the point. Huber looking around to Laidlaw. Laidlaw's shot is blocked by Crom. Donnelly sending it around into the corner to Gagne. To Huber for the shot. Just shanked it a little bit wide. In the corner, Jensen drops it off to Donnelly. Donnelly checked there by Curran centers. Gagne was tied up. Jensen shooting it wide. Power play is over. Huber stops it at the point for a shot. Deflected in front. Blocked. Here's Jensen for a shot. Saved by Smith. Back behind the net, Donnelly. Now it's centered again. And it cleared all the way down. Good work by Donnelly, Gagne, and Jensen, but couldn't put the puck in the net. They forced the icing. 4:24 to go in the first period. Huber set up the Rangers' first goal with a fine pass toward the net for McPhee. And Willie Huber playing lighter. He's in at about 226. Weight is way down.
Here's a shot, I think, that hit off the crossbar. Huber taking it. Oh, off the right post. Yeah, right post. And, yeah, Willie just putting it right in on net. excellent from the point. Huber, that's the weight he finished up last year. He came in 247.
Right.
20 pounds overweight at the beginning of last year. Didn't start off the season in Ted Sater's favorite corner.
Well, they worked him hard to get that weight down.
Good shift by Mike Donnelly. Donnelly showed a little second effort twice to set up a play.
Delgado takes a hit from Maloney. They work in the corner. Maloney trying to work it free. Delgado gets it up the boards and out. Work by the big right wing, Brad Delgado. Rangers come back though. Podubny's pass in the skates of Deblois and set out. Whistle stops play. Penalty call. Deblois was pulled down. Looks like Conroy's going to go for hooking with 4:02 to go in this first period.
Deblois, you see him pull up now. He's going to start breaking after the Islander player picked up the puck, and Conroy wants to interfere as Wood picked up the puck. Deblois going to pick him up, and Conroy gets that stick out. Not the kind of penalties a coach likes to see his player get. It wasn't in defending, it was in preventing a man to get back in position, and really helped his team in no way. So the Rangers get their second power play. The first power play really ignited where they did get some opportunities, but those opportunities were created by Donnelly and Jensen in front and down deep. Here we see maybe another look at number 37, Norm McIver, work on the power play on the point. Now he's playing the left side. He played the right point on that first power play.
Huber, McIver at the point. Sandstrom, Larouche, and Paymon up front with 4:02 to go in the first period. And the Islanders leading 3-1. McIver comes in, being hooked at by Kerr. Feet for Larouche. Saved by Smith. And the whistle stops play. Dave Newell calls the face-off in the near circle.
As McIver, you'll see him carry in and make a nice setup. Kyrie's in deep. He's being hawked on the play, but still Alan Carr hawking him. Gets it out to LaRouche in a perfect spot, and Billy Smith, nice save. Actually had that puck trapped between his arm and his body, and then when trying to get it out, too, dropping it forward, but the whistle had blown before he moved it ahead.
LaRouche on the draw. Sandstrom playing the left wing on this power play opportunity. LaRouche and Basson. Huber takes it. Back pass to McIver. Now to Huber. Huber drives it. Saved by Smith. The rebound in the corner. LaRouche after it. Basson works it up the boards. And Basson unable to clear. Taken away by Huber. Good play. Now it's Sandstrom with Leiter on him. Leiter takes him out of the play, and it's cleared by Kerr. Good play by Ken Leiter.
Leiter forcing the action. I don't think Sandstrom realized that McIver had gotten back to that point position, so he held on to the puck, and on a case like that, he should either dump it into the corner rather than getting taken off as he was.
Sandstrom met Brian Curran, dumping it into the corner. Paymon battles with Gordonine. Here comes Sandstrom out of the corner for a shot that deflects off the skate of Curran. Now it's Huber and LaRouche along the boards. Sandstrom centers right through the skates of Paymon. McIver winds it to the corner to Paymon. Hit by Curran, gets rid of it. Sandstrom centering pass deflected out of the zone.
Billy Smith getting his stick on that pass, or an intended pass from Sandstrom up to the middle to McIver. And it's twice Smith has helped himself with his stick.
Rangers make one change. Chris Jensen is on. McIver comes in with Sandstrom. Here's Sandstrom with the puck along the boards. 35 seconds left in the power play. Shot by Jackson, stick to side by Billy Smith. Jensen winds her behind the net. Deneen blocked by Sandstrom. In comes Dwayne Sutter. Now it's Deneen working it up the boards and lifting it out. McIver back for it. Time for one last rush with 18 seconds to go in the power play for the Rangers. 2:18 to go in the first period. Islanders lead 3-1. Donnelly comes across the line. Pass deflected. Kortko able to clear. That'll do it for the Rangers power play. Shots on goal, Rangers 12, Islanders 7, but the Islanders lead 3-1. And Leiter with a back pass to Boyd. Just under 2 minutes to go in the first period.
No goals on those power plays, Sam, but some opportunities, and that's what I'm sure the coaching staff is looking for.
Tom Weiss, number 32, rookie, signed out of the University of Denver. Donnelly goes for the puck but misses. Randy Boyd just nudging it ahead. Here's Don Jackson with the puck. 30-year-old Don Jackson coming over from the Edmonton Oilers in the trade last week. Just a couple of days ago, actually. boards and out of the zone. Karkner is there, goes across to Huber. That pass blocked by Weiss, but the Islanders are in the zone. That's the be a delayed offside. It's waved off as the Rangers able to play it and take it out. Here's Eriksson across the line. Centers for Gagne. His shot sticks aside. Good quick shot by Gagne. Gagne's been playing well. He battles for a job. He too playing left wing part of the preseason. Now playing center tonight. Less than a minute to go in the first period.
Well, his experience has been mostly at center ice with the Canadian Olympic team and in junior hockey, but he has played a little bit of left side, and the Rangers still searching for that center iceman.
Miller's shot sticked aside by Billy Smith. Eriksson battles with Leiter. Leiter still with it. Half a minute to go in the first period. Understand George McPhee has sustained an injury, and Bruce Beck is standing by to fill us in on just what happened. Hanpa, number 25, up the boards. Laidlaw keeping it in. It deflects over the glass into the crowd. Stops play with 18 seconds to go in the first period. Tom Laidlaw wearing the 8.
Missed him last year in the playoffs, Sam. Tommy hurting his back at the end of the season and missed the final 12 games and eventually did get to play in the playoffs, but not at full strength. His 8th year with the New York Rangers, 6th year, excuse me, and he's really the strength of their defense right now as far as defensively. He does everything in a defensive way.
And I think maybe for that reason, Don Jackson was brought in to lend a little strength. 6'3", 210, good size, experience, played on 2 championship teams with the Edmonton Oilers. Take a little bit of the burden off of Tom Laidlaw. Podubny battling along the boards with 3 seconds to go in the first period. A whistle stops play with 2. Bruce Beck standing by. He'll be talking with Pierre Larouche following the first and second periods. We'll also have a special guest with us, our newest addition to Madison Square Garden Network, and a welcome addition, fine announcer, fine person, Greg Gumbel, whose show, Coca-Cola High School Sports Week, premieres this week, and we'll be talking about that between periods. End of period 1. We're going to get an injury report from Bruce Beck, who's standing by. The Islanders leading the Rangers 3-1, end of 1. Rangers 13 shots on goal, Islanders 7. Rangers head for the locker room. We'll head for Bruce Beck. Bruce?
Thank you, Sam. Shortly after George McPhee tallied his goal, he was injured on the 2-on-1 scoring opportunity. We received word that it's at least a bruise, but highly suspicious that he fractured his collarbone. Now, he is being sent to Lenox Hill Hospital for x-rays, and we'll keep you posted. Coming up between periods with the Islanders leading 3-1, I'll be talking to Pierre Larouche, and we'll meet Greg Gumbel, the newest personality on MSG Network. The Islanders lead it. We'll be back with our in-between period show in just a moment. Coming up on Thursday, October 9th, opening night, 7:30 p.m., the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. You can catch all the action on Madison Square Garden Network. It begins with game night at 7 p.m., and then the 2 teams hit the ice at 7:30. Rangers and Devils, the season is upon us. And the season also means that Pierre Larouche is back in uniform now in his 13th season in the National Hockey League, 4th with the New York Rangers, and you're off to a pretty good start in preseason with 3 goals in 3 games. How are things going?
Well, we're doing very well. It's unfortunate that we have to come back after being on the West Coast for a week and have to play tonight at home. A lot of people, we're tired, and it's showing on our play. Was it positive to go as a group away for 7 or 8 days and play 3 or 4 games on the road? Well, I personally don't think so. We didn't have time to be with each other that much because we played and traveled. I think that if you would talk to Mr. Esposito and Ted and the coaching staff, they'd be, if you'd ask them if we'd go back, they'd say no. That was a great experience, but I don't think they'd like to go back. All right, how are you approaching this season, Pierre? Real good. I feel great. Looking forward to Thursday, kind of just our 24th day of training camp, and I can't wait for it to be over and start playing for keep.
What can we expect from you this year? Certainly the most predictable thing about Pierre Larouche is his unpredictability.
Well, you know, I'm looking forward to a great season. As an individual and as a team, we made a great addition to our team. In Jackson, the defenseman is going to help a lot, and everybody's positive. We got Johnny in the net, and our defense is better than you know, than last year. So one more year, we lost Barry and Rayo. That's a big minus, but we'll have to overcompensate that by working harder. Okay,
Pierre, let's take a look at first period action. You had a pretty good scoring opportunity here. Lead us through it.
Well, I saw George, and I was looking, and the defenseman couldn't put a stick down, so I tried to pass it to George, and I guess he got hit there, and then he hurt his shoulder, and I had a chance to score, and the puck just got away from my stick.
That was the play. McPhee said he was hit from behind, and that's where George suffered the injury to the shoulder. Goals. Do you set goals for yourself, and if so, what would be the goals for this year?
Well, you know, Phil is asking me to score 40 goals. I think I still can, you know, score 50 or 60 or something like that. I feel real good, you know, so we have to be very positive about the whole game, and I feel real great.
I'm glad you feel great. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
If Pierre Larouche does score over 50 goals, it will be the third different team that he would be able to tally 50 goals in one season. When we come back to Rangers hockey, we'll meet Greg Gumbel, Madison Square Garden Network on-air sports personality. He'll be talking to Sam Rosen in just a moment.
Preseason with the Islanders leading the New York Rangers 3-1. And this week, a new program premieres here on Madison Square Garden Network Wednesday night at 7 p.m. It's the Coca-Cola High School Sports Week, and hosting that show is our newest addition to the MSG Network family, good friend Greg Gumbel. And Greg, welcome. And I know you're excited about the new show.
I'm very excited about being here, number one, Sam. And yes, one of the shows that I'll be doing is Coca-Cola High School Sports Week. You know as well as I, there's a tremendous amount of talent involved on the high school level, and with the abundance of professional sports and college sports, a lot of people just don't get to see it, and that's what we hope to show. We hope to show all of the excitement and the activity and all of the competitive nature involved in prep sports.
I know we're going to be taking a look at a piece from the premiere show, but one thing about it, and in looking at it, is you really get into the personalities of the youngsters. It's something that we don't often see.
One of the things that we hope to show is not just the competitive aspect, but the human side of high school sports as well, and that involves the athletes, the coaches, the background of the schools. Whatever it is, there's something to be told, there's a story to be told. There are millions of them in the tri-state area, and we'll endeavor to bring those out.
Here in New York City, at the Fifth Avenue Mile at age 17, Shala Lynch, a high school senior, has gained prominence as one of the best middle-distance runners in the United States. And along with her talent comes a great attitude of awareness, where there's no room for excuses.
The difference between last year's Fifth Avenue Mile and this year's Fifth Avenue Mile for me was that I went out faster this year. I went out with 66, and I think I was 2:18 at the half. And then there was this little motorcycle guy who was filming me, and he kept getting in my way. And I yelled at him, and so I think I kind of lost a little bit of concentration, but that's no excuse. There's never any excuse for the times you run. It just happens.
But things didn't just happen for Shala as she won the race for a second straight year. Her love for running was introduced by her friend's father.
I guess he noticed I had a flair for it, or my form looked good, or he just thought I had a knack for it, and I was like, sure, what the heck, I'll run.
Shala Lynch, she bubbles.
She does. She's a delightful young lady. She's very talented. She has scholarship offers from Berkeley, from Stanford, and from Harvard. She hasn't decided where she wants to go to school yet. There are thousands of situations just like those in the tri-state area, and it's our job to...
Final tune-up for the New York Rangers and the New York Islanders. Islanders leading by the score of 3-1. The real bad news of that first period is that George McPhee was injured.
That's amazing, Sam. Well, you know, we talk about the fact that George McPhee has to stay healthy to produce. He's effective for the Rangers. He's a leader, and they'll really miss him as he's been something that they needed up front.
Suffered the shoulder injury following the goal that he scored to tie the game.
And a pretty goal. He was in front of the net. The Islanders were trying to clear the zone. Wilf Payma made a good play. Dropped it back to Willie Huber. Now McPhee had signal. Now he attempts a deflection. May have gotten a little piece of it, but he was in the slot, and he was just able to pick up the rebound and look for the hole. And at that point, the score was tied at 1 goal apiece. And George McPhee, we don't know what the results are, but he is at the hospital for x-rays.
Now the Islanders come through with a pretty play here.
And LaFontaine, a nice soft pass going into McAloon. McAloon makes a smart play. He puts it right into the slot. It hits off LaFontaine's skate and goes into the goal. And that was the third Islander goal, but 2 pretty plays by LaFontaine and McAloon.
That one was a power play goal, giving the Islanders the 2-goal lead. The teams are back on the ice right now before the start of the second period. We'll go back to Bruce Beck.
Here's a look at the scoring summary. Islanders on the board first to Wayne Sutter, his first goal of the preseason at 3:06. McPhee comes back at a pretty tally at 3:54. Then Mikko Makala, his 4th goal of the preseason. He's a 21-year-old sensation. That goal at 8:27. And the other 21-year-old, Pat LaFontaine, also his 4th goal of the preseason. Power play tally 12-17. Shots on goal, Rangers with 13 in period number 1. Islanders with 7. Dwayne Sutter individually with 3. Hyman with shots on goal. Getting set for the second period, and this the final preseason game of the year, and certainly players still trying to make the roster, trying to impress the coaches, and we'll see how it unfolds in the next 40 minutes. Sam standing by with Sal Red Light Messina.
And we also have a very special guest with us, because it's a man who's quite familiar to us up here in the booth. The vice president, and that's tough to say, vice president and general manager of the New York Rangers, Phil Esposito, who is bemoaning the fact that he's lost another player with injury, another weird, freaky injury. Madison going in with a shot that's blocked. They play the rebound. It deflects over the top and into the corner. And the Rangers, Larry Melnick picks up the puck. Don Maloney takes a hit from Alan Kerr. And DeBlois finds the puck and comes out. DeBlois carries. Maloney trying to get loose on the left side. DeBlois looking and shooting. Stick to side by Smith. Podubny toward the net. It's blocked in front. Podubny again. Looking and shooting. Save. No, they score. It looked like Smith had it. He thought he had it, but it's behind him. What a drive by Walt Podubny.
I think Johnny Maloney might have got that goal, though.
At least he was a reason for it happening. He was causing a lot of commotion in front of the net on Billy Smith, and possibly could have screened him, but Podubny covering up on that point. There's the shot that you see Maloney getting pushed down in front. I think that had to upset Smith. That's a good shot. Way high up on the glove side.
Sal, my eyes, you are a goaltender. You guys can't see. That puck hit Donnie Maloney's shoulder, I'll bet you.
Oh, no. I think it went over Smith's catching. He had that little opening up top. Let's argue.
You might be right.
Phil Esposito is with us. We'll get the official scoring in a moment. They're the 2 guys involved in the play. What about the injury situation?
Well, you know, it's really tough when you go. 4 guys now are down. We've got 4 guys that are hurting for at least 4 to 6 weeks. Greshner 4 weeks for sure. We've got now Georgie McPhee. I don't know how long he's going to be out. Kelly Kissio, and Jim Levens, Lane Lambert. I'm getting tired of it, Sam. I really am.
And Helmanen went down also with a broken thumb.
A lot of centermen out. We're going to have to do something about that.
What does that mean?
Got to get a centerman.
All right.
Here's Hanpa coming in, almost banned on the shot. Sotard was able to block it. Gartner looking for the backhander, blocked in front. Good play by Sandstrom coming back. Rangers come down, trailing 3-2. Mike Donnelly with the puck. We were talking before, and you love to say turn a negative into a positive. You were talking about the chance for Donnelly now to make the team.
Well, that's right. With Georgie McPhee out now, the positive thing is for Mike Donnelly to come to the front, and he might have a chance to score that goal or get on the team.
McIver keeping it in. Hanpa tried to sweep it away. That shot by Erickson blocked by Smith. Taken away. Good pressure by the Rangers. Paymont centering pass taken back by Morrow.
What do you think Erickson needs to become a goal scorer?
Pierre Larouche hands.
His hands?
A transplant.
I'll tell you though, Jan Eriksson has been playing very, very well for us. Frankly, I don't care if he ever scores as long as he keeps playing like he is. He does everything well for us defensively, Sal. By the way, you're right. Donnie Maloney scored the goal. I need glasses.
You mean Walt Dubney scored the goal?
That's what I said. Walt Dubney scored.
You said Don Maloney's going to go.
They battle along the boards. What about the trade for Don Jackson, Phil, and what do you feel he can do for you?
Well, you know, he's a big guy, obviously, and he's a tough man, and I just think that we need that toughness back on the point here, especially playing against Philadelphia and Washington, and he just got in, so he doesn't know what's going on. I went in there before the game and said hi to him and all that, and I said to him, look, just do like Yogi Berra said, just do what brung you, you know. And he says, look, I just try to play the same way as I always played, but he's a very, very good team man. That is one thing I do know about him. And you remember when DeBlois got that penalty, Jackson skated over to him and said something, and knowing him a little bit from doing some research, he probably said something to the fact that, don't worry about it, Lucy, we'll kill it off, stuff like that. That is little teamwork that you don't see, you know, and you don't know when you're up here.
Thomas Sandstrom taking the face-off, playing at center. What are your thoughts?
Well, we're trying to put him at center because we want to see what can happen with Thomas at center. He has not been playing well at right wing or left wing, and he's been playing a lot better tonight.
Rangers break down. Gagne carries in. Sandstrom heads for the net. Gagne steers it around the boards. Laidlaw is there to play it. Avoids the check of Woods. Centers for Gagne, who's broken up in front by Denis.
Playing center. Doesn't handle the puck that well. He doesn't make that good pass, though, right, Phil?
No, he doesn't.
Don't you feel that is something a centerman really needs?
We're trying to, well, not anymore in this day and age of the game. You know, it really is. There's a bad pass.
Crom has the puck now.
But the game has changed a lot, too, Sal. You know, they go all over the ice. Everybody's all over.
Yep.
It's a center. It's a face-off that is really important for the centers. And so far this year, our face-off situation has not been good.
How's he done, or is it just tonight that he played center? He didn't play center out on the coast?
It did a little bit, but there were so many penalties there.
Dubny one-handed centering pass. Jensen almost had one behind the back.
I think Podubny's going to help us a lot. I really do. He's got a great shot. We're going to try to teach him in the slot there. Look at that.
Podubny to Maloney. That shot deflected. Podubny again looking in front. That quick shot goes wide. Podubny tried to stuff it in. Maloney's shot was stopped, and the Islanders forced to clear out.
See, the one thing that I don't like about our team, what's done, and they just did it there too, they got too close. When you get too close into that crease, you don't have a good time to shoot the puck.
Podubny made the good play about that. He moved the puck back out.
We'll be right back. 15:54 to go second period. Walt Podubny has scored here in the second. DeBlois in to take the face-off.
Davis changing the lines around a little bit. He has to with the injury now to Georgie McPhee.
Well, you mentioned toughness. That's where you got to miss him.
We're gonna miss him a lot. We're gonna miss his toughness a lot.
Phil may have moved into the general manager's office, but we have not gotten rid of the Ask Espo segment of our program. Good. You can still ask Phil any question you want. You send your letter or postcard to Ask Espo, Madison Square Garden Network, 4 Penn Plaza, New York, New York, 10001. And Phil will be on the air with us during the course of preseason.
Please.
Now no trades. No, I was just going to say, now you can tell him what the general manager's thinking.
That's true.
Phil will be on with us during the season on our pregame show, Game Night. And we'll answer your questions. Mikko Makela getting in, and he scores! Again, the move around Karkner. That's the second time Karkner's been beaten on the outside.
And Makela accelerates beautifully on the play, and Dougie Sotak come out, had that stick out, but I think he got it down.
I was just going to say, first place, he really went around Sotak, but too quick. Sotar's down. I thought he was a little quick on that too.
He made the move a little too soon. Watch it. You'll see Makela come in. Now he's going to accelerate right here. Now you see Sotak. Now he's going to go down right now. Too early. Much too early. It allowed Makela to go out in front and tuck it home.
I thought that Sotak also committed himself a little bit early on that goal by LaFontaine.
he really went out to cut that angle. He was hoping for some help in the slot.
But Karkner's got to stop them guys like that. If he's slow to go on the outside and he has a fast guy, then he's got to let the guy play the outside.
LaFontaine shot saved by Sotard with a glove with two players in front. Tough screen set up by Hanpa battling with Sandstrom, but somehow Sotard saw it and gloved it.
A little bit of guessing, a little bit of anticipation. He looks at LaFontaine's stick and sees where he's moving that puck up, and that's exactly where he put it.
Looks like Sandstrom's got a penalty.
Sandstrom heading off.
Not happy about it. There was some players sticking down in front.
Thomas has not been a happy guy in this training camp. I don't know. We tried to talk to him and all that, and he seems like everything is okay, but he's very frustrated. I don't know what it is.
Still option year playing out.
Oh, he's playing under his option, yeah. And maybe that's his problem. I don't know. We're talking back and forth. I'm still talking with his agent. I'm not going to close the door on that. I mean, we expect him fully to be here, but he has indicated he wants to play out his option.
I understand he really worked this past summer, lifted weights, built up his upper body.
Well, yeah, he's big, he's strong, but it's like he made a tremendous play earlier on in this period. Remember you said in front of the net, Sam? But he gets himself frustrated now when things don't go right. Like there, he slammed his stick against the boards going into the penalty box.
Islanders' third power play. That shot by Conroy going wide. Basson pokes it to Dwayne Sutter. He's checked there by Melnick. And Laidlaw picks up the loose puck. Has room to clear it all the way down. What about the power play situation, Phil?
Well, that is something that we haven't even had time to work on yet. The coaches haven't, and I don't like it, to tell you the truth. You got to have a good power play in this game, and you got to be able to kill penalties. We're not worried about killing penalties. Those guys right out there now, and then Bobby Brook is a great penalty killer too. We're not worried about killing penalties, and Mike Ridley's good. But we are worried about our power play. There's no doubt about that.
How much movement do you...
No doubt about it.
How much movement do you anticipate tomorrow in the waiver draft?
I don't think there's going to be all that much. I don't know whether we're going to lose anybody or not. Will Paymont would be the #1 choice, I suppose. But it was a matter of numbers with us and contracts. Right. You know, you got to think about that in a situation like this.
That has to be the reason Gillies and Bourne are available.
That's possible. I would say that Bobby Bourne for sure will be picked up, and I mean, if Clark Gillies is available around this time too, I think that a team might pick up Clark Gillies.
Well, both those players can be picked up by the 5 teams that didn't make the playoffs because they can go on picking, right? They can pick until it's over.
The rest of us could be sitting there for hours.
Right.
You talked about the need for a centerman.
Oh, definitely now with Greshner and Kisio gone.
It's not easy to make it. You've been trying and working on deals all the time. Anyone that you can mention who you're particularly interested in? Or?
No, I've had numerous conversations with teams in the last, I guess 2-3 weeks, but I'm not excited about it.
Boy, that Makela's playing some games, isn't he? Oh, boy.
He was injured a little bit last year, so he didn't play regularly. Yeah.
He played with Helmanen on the line. Finland, yeah. They played very well together, apparently.
Let's go back to the trade situation. If there's anything you can expand on there.
Sam, you know, after the waiver draft is over, then we're going to sit down and...
Oh, how about that one? What a deflection by Eriksson, almost went in the net.
That's the second goalpost we've hit tonight.
His anticipation is outstanding. You have the puck in your end of the ice, and you've done that so often when you played, to have a guy who can anticipate as well as he can.
Teams are back at full strength. There's Eriksson coming in. Drops it off. Sandstrom goes to the boards to play it. Leiter is on him. Eriksson tied up with Morrow. Worked free by Sandstrom. Off the skate of Kelly Miller. And Dale Henry has the puck, number 26. Weiss had it knocked away by Melnick. Here's Jan Eriksson. Miller. And Morrow will play the puck.
How do you like evaluating players in a respect where now you're looking at a player not from a teammate or a broadcast. Now you're looking at him, hey, is he a commodity we can use or maybe not use?
Well, you know, I haven't really evaluated per se to put down a 1 through 10 situation like most of these guys do. 1 second, go ahead.
Gagne with a shot, saved by Smith. He holds it. We're going to break away. Phil's going to stay with us a little while. 12:23 to go in the second period. 4-2 Islanders. And the general manager of the New York Rangers, Phil Esposito, here as Laidlaw shoots. It deflects just wide of the net. Picked up by Randy Wood. Off the skate of Delgarno to Brian Curran. His lead is to Richard Crom. 2-on-1 develops. Crom's shot is saved by Sotar. The rebound still loose and picked up by McIver. 3-on-3. Now 4-on-3 for the Rangers. It is broken up nicely by Randy Wood.
That shot up in the face area will upset any goaltender. That's the reason Sotar had trouble with it.
Crom goes after the puck in the corner. Laidlaw's on him, takes the body, and takes the puck. Now he's hit by Brad Delgarno, and it's frozen with 11:46 to go in the second period.
We were talking about that rating, you know. I didn't
evaluating players.
Everybody was rating them after practices, and I sat there and I was listening, and it was amazing how everybody differed. So everybody, you know, it's like the people watching. You rate a player, you watch a player, and you always think that he's doing something that, and then the next guy will say, are you crazy? Yeah. I mean, he wasn't doing that. And it was interesting how really a lot of difference there was in rating the players. And then I did it myself at home, and then I would compare, because I would get everybody's notes and I would compare to see how close I was to the people that I thought were doing the best job.
How did you rate?
A couple of guys I was way off. Way off.
Does that make them right or you?
Well, listen, the coaches are going to pick this team. I'm going to help them. I'm going to get them the players they want and all that. And if they don't win, it's their head. Simple.
With the puck centering, has broken up and cleared out. Who's most pleased you among the people that you've brought in, the players that you've signed and the trades that you made?
Well, Sotar has. Sotar has been playing well. He's not playing so well tonight, I don't think, but he's played very well for us, and I think he's going to add a lot to that. And but Dubney is also a guy who's coming on better and better as the preseason progresses.
Dubney checked there by Bassin, and Bassin works the puck out of the zone.
He's having a fine game tonight. He's made a number of fine plays besides the goal he scored.
Yeah.
Jackson breaks up the play. Islanders recover, and Jackson breaks it up again. It's Don Jackson, number 29, 30 years old. He's from Minneapolis, the University of Notre Dame. Played with the North Stars for a while, the Edmonton Oilers. This is Eric Hanpa, one of your favorites.
I remember that name. Yeah, Hanpa. I like that name.
The battle along the boards. Worked free by Hanpa. Now it's Kerr looking for a shot, and it's taken away by Maloney. Rangers get out. Gagne rather Podubny with the puck.
Jackson using his muscle to break up that play.
Well, for Donnie Jackson to be effective, and we haven't told him this yet, but we will, because everybody should know their job, he has to be physical. There's no doubt about that. He's not going to dazzle anyone with his foot speed or his passing and stuff like that. And he has to be physical, and that's what we expect from him.
How about Mike Donnelly? What are his prospects?
Well, Mike has played pretty well in the last 3 or 4 games, and I think that he has a lot to learn there, though.
Whistle stops plays. There's a battle in the Islanders zone. Sandstrom's there. And it's Brian Curran, who was picked up as a free agent from the Boston Bruins.
He never really got it over with the Bruins. He had about 3 years. Last year didn't play that much. No. He wasn't injured. So Brian Curran continues to jaw away at Thomas Sandstrom. But the Islanders went after Curran for the same reason you went after Jackson. A little muscle, toughness.
Partners here are talking to him, which is something I like to see.
9:41 to go in the second period. Islanders lead the Rangers 4-2 as things get lively. Van Beest Beesbrook is in goal for the New York Rangers to play the second half of this game, and he had a good game in San Francisco Friday night, a shutout over the Blues.
He did. He played very, very well in that game, and the game before against Calgary, that first period, the whole team was so flat. I think looking at the situation, the Cow Palace, everything else, it wasn't really major league, you know, and what happened was I think everybody thought, well, this is an exhibition, we're here for a holiday, as they sure deserted John, and John wasn't in the game mentally either. Nobody was. And then after that period, the team came on and played very well for 5 out of the 6 periods, because they played very well in that 4-0 fight.
You know, you mentioned Terry Carpenter, Phil, coming and having some words with Curran, who had just had that little altercation with Sandstrom. The couple of fights he had here with Martinson of Philadelphia, did that put a plus in his side of the ledger?
Listen, Terry Carpenter, as we'll see, Terry Carpenter is a big guy that has to use what he has. I don't understand why the guys don't use their assets. As far as Carpenter is concerned, his asset is being a very tough guy, very physical player. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's a very young player, and he's going to develop. But you're right. I like what he does, Ayad. He's saying, hey, look,
you tell him, hey, you have to play a little more physical? Would you go down?
Absolutely. Training camp, we told him that, you know, certain guys have to be more physical than others. I mean, we don't expect Jan Eriksson to get into a penalty physical.
Eriksson has the puck for a shot, and Smith makes the save. Leaves it there for Steve Conroy. Kortko able to get it out of the zone. Good check. Don Jackson making the hit on Henry. Across the line, Larouche heading for the net. Eriksson. Larouche across ice, intended for Paymont. Henry was there to break it up.
Nice play by Henry coming back, picking up his wing. He's there to intercept the pass.
Nice lead. What a save by Van Beesbrook on Tom Weiss. Weiss sneaking in from the right wing, and that bouncing pass got to him. He shot it in full stride. Van Beesbrook with the glove.
Now watch it. He's going to a great pass, and Weiss controls that bouncing puck. Now Van Beesbrook just has his glove to his left side, hits his glove, and he picks up. He's got to play that position exactly the way he did.
Isn't that true, Sal? I mean, he had it in a perfect position.
Yeah,
there, right?
Absolutely. That's why he stopped the puck. He had the glove right where it should be, and that puck hit his glove, and then he pulled up. And he's got to keep that glove. You know, Ron Scott, he always kept his glove in front of his body. He would have never made that save. Always kept his catching glove in front of his body, and then would go back or move that glove to his left to make the save. Could never make that save. That would be.
I like the play Kortko made too. It was a smart play by him.
8:55 left, second period. Islanders leading the Rangers 4-2. Wraparound try, come through the crease. Another save by Van Beesbrook on Randy Wood. Van Beesbrook likes playing here. He's alive. You can see it from the moment he stepped off the bench onto the ice. He's into the game in a hurry. Two good saves.
And they help.
Laidlaw with the puck. 8.5 minutes left in the second period. Bill Esposito has joined Sal and I up here in the booth. Sal and me, I should say. McIver comes in. Going against Morrow. McIver looking to center. Does. Carried in deep. Down goes Maloney. On top of him, Randy Wood. And it's frozen for a face-off with 8:11 left. Second period. Final game of the preseason. Islanders lead the Rangers 4-2. Rangers general manager Phil Esposito.
Can anybody win a job tonight?
Absolutely.
In this game?
In fact, there's one of the guys right there taking a face-off, Dave Gagne. Especially now with George McPhee hurt. Great opportunity for him.
Good play by Gagne right there. Melnick controls it and dumps it in the corner. Gagne after Dineen. Dineen lost his stick. Fontaine up the boards. Karkner stops it. Larouche trying to get free. And Randy Boyd able to take it out.
Gagne back to left wing again.
Hanpa stopped by Melnick. Karkner over to help. Melnick with the puck, and out come the Rangers. Paymont. Gagne toward the net, now slides by and picks up the puck. Checked by Makela. Gagne looking. Dineen works it around on the near side. Paymont is there to play it. Checked by Boyd. Intercepted by Dineen. And Hanpa clears it out. Nice move.
He handles the puck so well.
He's a good player.
goes Hanpa, but he put it on the stick of LaFontaine. Leiter gave it away to Larouche. Rangers come out. Gagne comes down against Morrow. Quick shot, deflected high and wide off the glass. Rangers change on the fly. Ken Leiter gets to the puck and takes it in against Huber.
That's a change I don't like. Everybody goes to the bench, the puck came around, and the Islanders get the puck out. At least one or two guys should stay on until the other guys come on.
That's that second period. That bench is at the opposite blue line. You get trapped off.
Big hit by Willie Huber on Alan Kerr. Line them up and put them down. Across the line, Wayne Sutter. Rangers come out. Podubny. 3-on-2 develops. Podubny into the middle. Erickson. His shot wide. Rebound to the near side, and the Islanders able to get out with it. 6:15 left in the second period. Basson dropping it to Wayne Sutter. Save Van Beesbrook. He's been tested quickly, and he's come up with 3 big saves. Don Jackson plays the puck.
That was super. That was 3-on-2 set up, and Sutter was in a perfect position about 25 feet out.
Donnelly toward the net. Smith stops it.
Sutter has put on the shield. I was wondering, did he get hit or something?
Didn't hear about that.
Smith went down. That
Mike Donnelly run into him. It was an accident.
Deblois drops it off. Donnelly plays it around to Chris Jensen. How about Jensen's play in preseason, Phil?
He's come on much better the last 3 or 4 games.
McIver stops and shoots. Stick save by Smith. Donnelly with the puck. Works his way in front. Deflects through the crease. Weiss able to clear it down.
There's supposed to be a goal scorer. He showed it there. He got that shot through. He got it on net, but Billy Smith anticipated it going to his right and was able to get the stick over.
Islanders. Dale Henry keeps it in, but Jensen is back there. Plays the board. Donnelly taps it out. 5 minutes left in the second period. Islanders lead 4-2. Each team with a goal here in the second. Donnelly knocking it down the ice, and this will be an icing. Randy Boyd makes the touch. 4:51 left. Second period. Islanders 4, Rangers 2. Second period. Islanders with a 4-2 lead over the Rangers.
They experimented with different rules, Phil, throughout the preseason. One, that extended crease, a 2-foot arc around the outside of the goal crease. You guys vote on that. The general managers vote on that Tuesday. You're going to vote for or against?
I'm really don't know yet. I'm pending to vote against it. I am.
Vote for.
Why is that?
Because I don't think it speeds up the game at all.
Well, I don't think it's there for speeding up the game more so than protecting the goaltender.
Yeah, but the one I don't like is the one when they shoot the puck and it goes over the glass. I don't think that should be a penalty because some rinks, unless all the rinks are uniform, how can they call that, you know?
But that goal crease of protecting the goaltender, right now we're having a little problem on the faceoff.
This is a young linesman. And this is one of the new rules, too, to speed up the game, but obviously it's not doing it.
Mark Vines.
Maybe we might just say, hey, forget it.
Rangers finally find the puck.
The one I do like is the instigator rule. I like that a lot.
But will they call it?
They've been calling it pretty well in exhibition, so. What's going on?
I don't know. Let's see. Whistle stop play.
Offside,
This will be a two-line pass. Two-line pass, I believe.
The instigator rule's always been in the book, though, Phil, in a different way. Now they can...
Actually, the linesmen are going to have more say in that, which is fine. I think that
helps the referee out. They can voice their opinion as to who the instigator was in an altercation in case the referee should.
We had a situation in San Francisco. Rob Ramey instigated a fight, and he got 5 minutes for instigating and 5 minutes for fighting. I forget who he fought with now. I can't remember. Mark Osborne. And Osborne got 5 minutes for fighting, so we had a power play for 5 minutes. Which, you know, that's a gutsy call by a referee.
Right. Well, will you make it during the regular season? That's the things that, you know, they were calling delay a game out on the island a couple of weeks ago. Not the game you played, a game Philadelphia played. They called 3 consecutive delay a game penalties.
Here comes Wood. Try to beat Huber. Huber stayed with him, and Van Beesbrook made the stop. And we've got a penalty call.
No,
Thomas Sandstrom.
Slash on the way in.
Sandstrom will go for tripping with 4:22 to go. Second period. period. Islanders lead 4-2. They get their 4th power.
Sandstrom did get the penalty for tripping.
Yeah, for tripping that off the play. It wasn't the player where the shot was taken. That was Willie Huber covering the man Randy Wood, who's had a fine game for the Islanders.
He's a good hockey player also.
Good speed.
He turns it on quickly. He just accelerates, and he's shown that 3 times tonight.
This is a big kill for the Rangers as far as I'm concerned. You know, you kill off this penalty here, and you're still in the game.
LaFontaine with the puck to Steve Conroy toward the net off the stick of Van Beesbrook. Leiter comes down, bumped by Maloney. Jackson battles with Makela in the corner. Maloney to the puck and the clear.
What kind of a general manager you're going to be still during games? You're pretty loose in preseason. How about during the season?
Well, like I said 100 times when I was broadcasting, if they don't give any effort, I'll be a wild man.
Are you going to be a pacer while you watch the games? Or?
I don't know. I was a whistler before.
Good check by Maloney on Makela, and Maloney taking the puck away to clear it out. 1:10 to go, the penalty to Sandstrom.
Islanders have 1 power play goal, but all in all, the penalty killing's been doing a good job in tonight's game.
Well, like I said, I don't think we have any problem with the penalty killing.
That shot high off the glass. I guess the injuries to Kissio and Greshner have to really bother you, because those are 2 guys that you have to figure were going to be leaders on the team.
Well, not only that, you know, the 4 centermen, they certainly were going to be 2 of them. And that's what really hurts, you know. I mean, it's not like we've got a lot of centermen to begin with.
If you had to pick a position going into training camp that you needed,
that's what I wanted to fill.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what we went after Kissio for, and actually Podubny also. Well, so I would have, you know, you don't think of trading a Mike Allison for a guy that's going to play left to right wing. I see that because Podubny, I saw him play in junior, and he was an excellent player at center ice.
Melnick made a fine play right in the slot to break up that play. He did it all of last year, and he came out of Edmonton. You look at that from Jackson also. They came from Edmonton.
Sandstrom back on.
Winners, all winners, and that's what it's about too. So far, Deblois winners.
Jackson. Sandstrom's shot is blocked by Boyd. Boyd slow to get up. In front, it slid through the crease off the stick of Maloney. The injured full strength with 2 minutes to go in the second period. Randy Boyd limping on the ice.
He stopped the shot right above the kneecap.
That salad can still see it right above the kneecap.
Right above the kneecap. I thought it was below. I thought it was in the shin bone.
Couldn't be. That's where the pad goes. Sal, see, you goalies don't know anything about shin pads.
I just wanted to say something the opposite you did. So.
Naturally.
Podubny with the puck. That shot deflects off Morrow. Podubny after it. Ridden down by Henry. Morrow is bumped. The whistle stops plays. Podubny and Henry are on top of the puck with 1:21 to go.
How'd you like it behind the bench the other night? I heard you were behind the bench.
I stood there and I watched, and you do lose the perspective up here. You don't realize just how fast the game is down there. And the other thing that I like watching him come off the ice. I wanted to see the reactions of the players coming off the ice. And it's interesting. You get to see the eyes and you get a different perspective from it.
Did you, when you were a player, a rookie comes on your team and you see him play, and the contact on the bench, and I guess you picked that up when you're playing also. About a player. About a player. You know, just how he reacts on the bench to certain situations.
Absolutely. You can tell by a guy's eyes whether he's in the game or not, and especially if your teammate gets beat or if he gets beat up or whatever, you can tell by a player's eyes how he's going to react when he comes to the bench.
Richard Crom comes down. Go ahead, guys. Crom coming in. Nice drop to Wood. His shot saved, and the rebound stopped again. Van Beesbrook's got it. Pretty play by the Islanders. Crom and Wood. And Wood taking the shot. Van Beesbrook making the save.
The quick hands. We saw the quick speed of Randy. When you watch his hands as Crom sets him up, here comes Crom into the zone, drops it off. Wood's going to take the shot. Now watch him get that second shot as it bounces up. Just smacks it out of the air, but Van Beesbroek's in the perfect spot after he made the first save, but that's quick hands.
Yeah, in the first place, it should have never been a 2-on-1 in that situation with just 1:09 to go, and both forwards had the guy covered and let him go. And then Laidlaw got caught on the side there because he thought his forwards were picking up the man, and they didn't. This guy's throwing up Larouche every draw. Pierre hasn't played center for a while, but they're throwing him out. Like, I think I'm going to vote against this face-off rule.
Both forwards trapped on that power play, though. 3-on-2,
Yeah.
the Islanders scored. Donnie Maloney gone in deep.
Centering. Van Beesbroek got a stick on it. Melnick's got Wood tied up, pulled him down. Crom has the puck. He's hit by Miller. At the point, Dineen for a shot. Deflected just wide. That was Delgarno in front with a deflection. Dineen sends it to the near side. 40 seconds to go.
It's good having you back here on the microphone.
I enjoyed it, sir.
I think we'll do it again. And fans, don't forget, we still plan to have our Ask Espo segment as part of our game night program during the course of the season. So make sure you send your questions to Phil, Ask Espo. In care of Madison Square Garden Network, 4 Penn Plaza, New York, 10001.
Are you going to be the easy general manager to get on in-between period radio shows?
Sure.
He needs those Christmas gifts.
I remember, yeah, he was good as a player. He always came on. I remember you came in.
Have no worry about that.
Oakland, your first game with the Rangers.
I was in shock there. Please.
Bill met the Rangers in Oakland and traded for the Bruins. You able to get NHL hockey back out there? You had the 2 games in San Francisco, the franchise that wasn't open.
They'd have to have a different rink for sure.
Yeah.
What's the scouting report around the league, Phil, as far as certain teams are concerned?
I hear Dallas may be a place that they're talking very heavily about.
I was at the game the other night.
Were you down there?
It was a sellout. Yeah. The crowd really reacted to everything that was happening in the game. Really on top of it, too.
Uh-oh, here we go again.
Crom coming down. Over comes Jackson. Now it's Kerr against Miller. Miller takes the puck with 5 seconds left in the period. Bruce Beck will be talking with Kelly Rudy of the New York Islanders. Sal will have some predictions for this season. I can't wait. And that's the end of the second period. Rangers got 1 goal early. Islanders got it back. Shots on goal for the game. Rangers 22, Islanders 16. Rangers heading for the locker room.
Well, Willie Huber's had a good game tonight, and we expect big things from him. And there's Jackson. He doesn't look like he's in too good a shape right now. I think that he probably, this training camp, our training camp was very tough. Edmonton's are, you know, they're the champs. And he hasn't played all that much up there. Well, as the guys are coming off, they look a little bit disgusted, which is good. They've got to do it on the ice, right? That's the name of the game.
Phil, thanks so much.
Thank you, Sam.
Phil Esposito, the Rangers general manager, taking some time out to join us. We're between periods 2 and 3 now. The Islanders lead the Rangers 4-2.
End of 2 periods of play, and this is the final preseason game at Madison Square Garden for both the Rangers and the Islanders. And I'm joined by Kelly Rudy, a rapidly improving goaltender. Last year, 2nd in the NHL in save percentage, 3rd in the NHL in goals against average. And do you consider yourself right now to be the number 1 or number 2 goaltender in this team?
That's a loaded question, Bruce. I really wouldn't want to get into it. I just think that Smitty and I can play 40 games each if that's what we're asked to do. If I'm asked to do a little more, I'd obviously be happy. I'd like to play like Van Beesbroek did last year, 60-some games or whatever. But then again, that's coach's decision, and whatever he says, I'll be happy with.
Why do you feel you've blossomed as a goaltender the last 2 seasons?
Well, I think definitely it's increased ice time. There's no doubt about that. My first year, I got in 12 games, and that sort of saps your confidence right there. It takes you a good 2-3 months the following season to get back into the swing of things. You're not really feeling all that high on yourself when you only play 12 games. So with the extra games, you really start to feel good, and you feel comfortable going in there, and you feel like you're not going to make mistakes for the guys out there that are really working hard. So it's just a combination of things.
You have a lot of veterans back back there defensively. You've got Potvin, and hopefully Morrow will be healthy, but you also have a lot of newcomers. So how difficult is that for a goaltender, not really knowing what the player's going to do?
Well, in a sense, it's not that difficult because I play with those guys in the minors. I played in the minors for 2 seasons, and most of those guys played down in Indianapolis with me, so I sort of know what they're going to do. We didn't play together that much here, but we did play together in the minors, and it makes it that much more helpful there.
Big change this year in the NHL. There is an enlarged circular goal crease. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it's going to be a good idea. You know, last year and the last few years, really, the guys have really been roughing up the goaltenders in the crease, and you know, the referees are always saying that the defensemen are pushing them into the crease. Well, you know, that's a tough thing to get into, but I think it's going to be good if the refs call it. It could be, like everybody else says, it could be out to center ice, but if they're not going to call the thing, it's not going to make any difference. So,
have they been calling it so far?
Actually, in preseason, I haven't had anybody in my crease, so I'm hoping that maybe everybody's going to change. They're going to go to the swift, fast skating game, and I'm not going to have to see it this year.
The goaltenders seem to like the rule, though. It keeps a lot of people away. Good luck to you, Kelly Rudy.
Thanks.
Kelly Rudy of the New York Islanders coming off back-to-back 19-win seasons. When we come back to New York Rangers hockey, the Red Lights, Sal Messina with some bold predictions for 86, 87 when we return.
I'm Jimmy Connors, and it's about time you met my partner, my financial side.
All successful people and companies have a financial side.
Let's go, partner.
But to really be a winning team, you might need some help.
We need some help.
You need Bain Weber behind you for financial expertise, sound advice. We believe the quality of life just might depend on the quality of your financial services.
Thank you, Bain Weber. You're awfully stiff. You've got to loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, I checked the filter. It's the air conditioning that's not working, that's all. Yeah.
The plug, come on, I checked it.
Oh, good. How soon can you get here, huh?
One Book is in more offices, helping people find more goods and services.
Just take the back
The
stairs,
official
okay?
directory of New York Telephone. The 9X business-to-business Yellow Pages. It's always there when you need it.
This young man is about to repair his own car. The problem? Clogged fuel injectors. As you watch, he's fixing it with Mobile Super Unleaded Gasoline. Its advanced detergent formula can unclog fuel injectors and give your car a new injection of power. Drive your engine clean with Mobile Super Unleaded, high octane with a plus. Get a free Giants or Jets glass every time you fill up with 8 gallons or more of Mobile Super Unleaded.
Who says you can't have old world taste and a new world waste? Old world aging and the new world's youthful spirit. Europe's finest hops in America's finest light beer. Michelob Light, old world quality from Anheuser-Busch. Michelob Light, the best of both worlds.
Michelob Light, oh yes you can have it all.
Back at Madison Square Garden between the second and third periods of this final preseason game, Islanders 4, Rangers 2. Sal Messina, as you know, is sitting in for John Davidson tonight, and John really didn't want to make these predictions. That's why he's not here. Is that why I'm doing this? But Sal is fearless. Sal always comes up with some weird predictions. Some are pretty good, and he looks like a genius, but you'll find that some are really interesting.
When did the genius spot happen?
That's what you told me. You said I'm a genius. Go ahead. What are your predictions for this season?
The Adams division is the best division to predict. Yeah. Hartford winning the division. I think Hartford should win that division. They have excellent forwards. They have Turgeon up front if he's healthy.
What happens to Montreal, Stanley Cup champs?
Roy's going to have a bad year. He's not going to follow that up. He's going to have a mediocre year. They may look for a goaltender. I don't think Patrick Roy can do during the season what he lifted himself up to do during the playoffs. And the Bruins, in that tough division, I see Boston falling out of playoff position.
No kidding. And Buffalo beating them out?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Scotty's not going to miss the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Okay, let's go
Or
to
else
the
he'll
next
be in
one.
Boston the following year.
All right, next,
Patrick division. Washington is going to trade for a goaltender. Yeah? They're not going to use Pete Peters and Jensen all year. They'll get somebody else, and if they trade for a goaltender, they'll end up first.
Okay.
All right, they'll beat out Philadelphia. Lemieux, 50 goals, 150 points. Pittsburgh makes the playoffs.
I like
two
that.
teams from New York are going to battle out for that fourth playoff spot.
Should be in. And you think Pittsburgh will go as high as third?
I can see that, sure. They almost did it last year. When the Islanders pulled away the last 2 weeks, Lemieux has another year. Their young defenseman, Jimmy Johnson, had an excellent year. Doug Bodger, Norm Schmidt.
Should be
not bad. Their goaltending, Gilles Malache is a good goaltender, and Romano has another year under his belt. Why not?
Okay, next. Smythe division.
Gretzky scores 100 goals.
Oh,
he's close. He had 96? Edmonton demolishes the division.
92 was his high, but that's
92,
close.
all right. Calgary's gone by December. L.A. Kings, third place.
Oh,
all they have to do is beat out Winnipeg. That's not hard.
Winnipeg's going to bounce back, Sal.
You think
Winnipeg will bounce back.
L.A. has a couple of good rookies, Luke Robitaille, Jimmy Carson.
And no defense.
Oh, those young kids are going to mature.
Yeah?
Craig Redmond. Hardy will be with them all year. He had that serious injury at the beginning of last year. He'll be with them all year. And they have Rolly Melanson in goal, and that's going to be a key for them.
Now, Edmonton wraps up the division, you say, by December, but what about will they be flat in the playoffs?
Oh, that I'm not asked to predict that. I was only asked to predict 5.
Norris division.
Minnesota finally does something. Lon Henning, excellent coach. He's got that team playing together. I see them doing it.
Okay, now the big awards for the season.
Mike Liut is going to lead Hartford to first place. Now,
figures it would be a goalie.
They wouldn't give Van Beesbrook the MVP last year. I have to elaborate on this. They wouldn't give Van Beesbrook the MVP last year when he deserved it. I mean, Van Beesbrook, I feel, deserved the MVP. So they may not give it to Liut next year. If Gretzky scores 100 goals, they'll give it to Gretzky. If Lemieux scores 150 points, they'll give it to Lemieux. And if Hartford ends up first place, he's more valuable than either one of those guys.
It's got to be a goaltender. You know, Sal loves the goalies. It's Liut. If it's not Liut, it's Van Beesbrook. We're going to check Sal's report card at the end of the season.
I'll be on radio.
We'll bring back these predictions. We'll be back with highlights in just a moment.
Homeowners, Long Island's largest direct-to-the-public replacement window factory is now open at 821 Stewart Avenue, Garden City, and 160 Willets Point Boulevard, Queens. See your window being custom-made as you enjoy the lowest prices in town. Like this beautiful white insulated replacement window. Only
it was 3-1 into the first, and then the Rangers got an early goal in the second period.
And Phil Esposito has to be happy. The Ranger general manager Ted say, there's for Dubney with a shot. Maloney bothering in front. And what a great shot. High on the glove side. There's not much room there. Billy Smith also concerned with Maloney. But Dubney, by the way, was taking up Melnick's spot on that right point. Melnick, the defenseman, went in deep on the play.
The Islanders got it back, though, almost 4 minutes later.
Individual effort. Mikko Makela, acceleration. Hartman beaten for the second time tonight. Sotot prematurely goes out, tries to poke the puck off his stick and prevent Makela from crossing in front of him. Nice play by Makela.
What a game Makela is having. 2 goals and 1 assist. We'll be set to start the second period in just a moment.
End of 2 periods of play. Sports fans, make your plans now to watch Wednesday night's lineup on MSG Network. Leading off at 7 p.m. is the premiere of Coca-Cola High School Sports Week. At 7:30 p.m., Dave Sims hosts Sports Night Live from the Gardens Hall of Fame Club. At 10:30, there's more great sports talk with the premiere of Sports Forum at 10:30 p.m. We bring the Garden home right here on Madison Square Garden Network. Now we go upstairs to Sam and Sal for third period action.
Thank you, Bruce. I believe I said we were going to start the second period. The game was going along. I figured we'd see some more. No, it's the start of the third period. Islanders leading 4-2. The injury news not good for the Rangers. George McPhee taken to Lenox Hill Hospital for x-rays for possible broken left collarbone. Happened after he scored a goal in the first period. Islanders come out. This is Dale Henry, number 26. Across the line, he comes with Tom Weiss. There's the drop to Weiss. Weiss, the backhander, slides through the crease. And Dave Gagne races down, drops it off for Terry Karkner. Karkner's drive, hit the post, the rebound, score! Gagne following it in on a good shot by Karkner that Smith really was a little casual on.
Not only that, he was back in his net. A goaltender on a shot like that should be outside that circle. And had he been outside the crease, the circle in the crease, it would not have hit the post. So he wasn't ready. He wasn't in the right position. You'll see Smith. See him back in his net. He's back in his crease, the inside crease. He gets beat, hits off the post, and Gagne, who, by the way, lugged the puck out of his end of the ice to start that play going down into the Islander zone. Look at how far back in Smith is. That's why he loses it. Never was ready for it here early in this third period.
The Rangers' #1 draft pick in 1983, and as Phil Esposito mentioned, with a chance to make the team, as he becomes a valuable person with could play on left wing or at center. So Gagne gets the goal. The Rangers are down 4-3.
Big shift for him also. He came out, he started bumping in neutral zone, Sam. Then he went back in on the play. Third man in the zone, was able to pick the puck up, lug it out.
Sandstrom taking the body. Crom takes the puck away from Karkner. Crom tied up by Karkner, and here comes Sandstrom with it. The lead is for Jan Eriksson. Eriksson against Randy Boyd, who takes him out. Rangers have trailed all the way. They were tied 1-1. Giveaway. Deblois shot. Save Smith. Just barely got a piece.
Doesn't look like he wants to move very much, Sam, Billy Smith, even on that one.
Almost a hooking penalty against Don Jackson as he hooked Bassin coming in. And here's Gagne again. Rather, this is Podubny, excuse me. Podubny's screen shot used Boyd for a screen. Smith with a save, and he covers up. And some pushing and shoving. Maloney with Brian Curran. Alan Kerr, number 10, is there. Deblois, 35. Gloves go flying. It's Curran and Jackson, I believe. Don Jackson.
And that will endear him to Phil Esposito's heart. Jackson going in on that play. First it was Maloney. That originally started with Curran pushing Deblois around. It was the two of them pushing, and Maloney came in first.
17:54 to go in the third period. Rangers with the early goal by Dave Gagne, trail by 1, 4-3.
Much that means. But today found
things out here.
Possible, looking maybe for a possible instigator.
5 minutes for fighting. Islander penalty number 34. 5 minutes for fighting.
There you go.
Jackson got the instigator penalty.
He came in late on the play. If you recall, the original arguments were between Curran, Deblois, and then Maloney. There's Ranger coach Ted Sater getting out his penalty killers, Kelly Miller, and Jan Eriksson just jumping over the boards. But there's that instigator being called. Last year, I don't think that would have been called. That's the new rule. Here you see the new rule coming into play, and the referee Newell making the call. Curran for fighting, 5 minutes. Jackson, 2 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting. The time's 2:06. By the way, on that Ranger goal by Gagne, the assist, the lone assist, was by Karkner. Karkner took the shot that hit the post, and of course Gagne lugged the puck out of the zone and gave it to Karkner, and that was on the return that the goal was scored. Terry Simpson talking with Pat LaFontaine as the Islanders set up for this power play. Islanders, of course, not dressing Potvin, Janssen, Bassi tonight, Trottier. 4 guys
Brent
that would,
Sutter.
5 guys that could possibly be on that power play. So this has not been their #1 power play by a long shot. LaFontaine maybe would see some action on their power play.
LaFontaine going for the puck. Huber breaks it up, who deflects to Eriksson. Well, Jan Eriksson has had a strong game. Battles with Ken Leiter. Makela has been superb for the Islanders. LaFontaine drops it back to regroup. Leiter goes around, hits the back of the net, finally gets over to Steve Conroy. Hanpa hits Makela. Makela hits LaFontaine, and he falls down, and Eriksson clears.
That was an excellent pass. You know, we talked about Makela's speed. Did you see the pass he just made neutral zone? He should have sprung that winger, but good play at the line by Willie Huber. Stood up that man.
Nice lead. Hanpa takes it across and shoots. Save Van Beesbrook. Laidlaw plays to Karam, and Huber took out Hanpa. Huber's taken the body a couple of times tonight. Deblois is on the ice with Maloney, Karkner, and Huber. Deblois fires it down. 1 minute left. The penalty to Jackson. The instigator penalty. 16:50 to go, third period. Rangers with a goal in the opening minute for the second time in the game. Had the goal by Podubny opening minute of the second period. Out in center, whistle stops play, and pass.
Karkner batted that puck down, and it was picked up, I think, touched by either Maloney or Deblois, but it was Kalkner who's saying, wait, I didn't do it, but he definitely had the glove up and batted it down. He's not going to win the argument. Good play by Huber as the Islanders were crossing the line. Huber was able to stand up, and that's 2 plays in a row where he made the move. He stood up, did not give away that blue line, and the Rangers were able to break up the play. On the first one, it was because Don Maloney was coming back, and the defenseman can only stand up and not allow the other team to gain the zone if he's getting help from his wingers, as he did on that particular play.
Islander power play. Gord Dineen banging it off the end boards. Bob Basson has it. Back to the point. Boyd shot deflected. Good play by Kelly Miller. Now it's Basson. Sending it into the Rangers zone where Van Beesbrook plays the glass. And out. Miller. Good job as Miller comes across and shoots off the skate. Miller still after it. Morrow on him. In the corner, Jan Eriksson. Boyd on him. 10 seconds to go in the Islander power play. But Miller and Eriksson doing a great job. Make it 5 seconds left. And the man advantage for the Islanders. And 15:59 to go in the third period. Talking about the work of Jan Eriksson.
He kept that puck alive. He didn't pin it right away. He tried to just rag it as much as possible in the corner. Had Randy Boyd chasing him. And by the way, good to see Randy Boyd back. He took that shot above the kneecap, as Phil Esposito said earlier. There's Jan Eriksson, who had 2 separate leg injuries last year. Maybe he had the shin guard, his shin pad broke on him last year. He got a bad shin bruise, and he was out for quite a while. Then I think he broke a bone in his foot. But 2 separate injuries to his left leg.
Chris Jensen picks up the puck as the teams are back in full strength. Jensen with a drive and off the stick of Smith. Mike Donnelly along the board. Sends it side of the net. Jensen tried to center. Knocked away from Sandstrom. He recovers. Sandstrom puts it in front. And the loose puck is picked up by the Islanders who come out.
Kenny Morrow, he had no idea where the puck was, but he made a fine play by just leaning into Mike Donnelly. And Donnelly, therefore, could not pick up that puck in the slot. And Kenny Morrow, one of the premier defensive defensemen in the league.
If the Islanders are going to have problems, it will be on defense. A lot will depend. Here's Carter coming down for a shot and a save by Smith. That time Smith was sharp. A lot of it depends on how much playing time Morrow can give them.
And not only that, if you remember when the Islanders dominated, when they went in the Cup, Dennis Potvin, of course, was in his prime. Potvin, half the game, was lugging the puck down ice. Now he doesn't do that anymore. So that element is gone. They don't have the big guy. Thomas Janssen maybe is carrying the puck a little more than any other defenseman.
Crom had a hold of LaRouche. Paymon shot deflected off the side of the net. Here's Podubny again. Stopped at the line. Shot by Huber is gloved by Smith. It was Gagne, not Podubny, on that good play behind the net. Gagne's really been hustling. Farkner with Delgarno on him. Off the boards. Here's Gagne with Paymon and LaRouche. Paymon for the shot. Wide. Caroms around the glass and out. Bouncing puck.
Kind of hit the net on a shot like that. Nice drop pass. And Paymon, of course, been in the league 13 years, and he knows that. I'm sure he's a little upset that he missed. But when you hit the net, so much can happen. He hits the net. Smith's not going to control a rebound on a shot like that. No goaltender.
Fans alive here with a chant of "Let's go Rangers." They're in midseason form. Rangers have outshot the Islanders 26-17. But the Islanders lead 4-3. Melnick drops it in the Islanders zone. Ken Leiter with the puck. Up the boards, it's a giveaway to Maloney. But he gives it right back to LaFontaine. Makela taps it to LaFontaine. He comes in against Laidlaw. LaFontaine to the goal line. And around he goes. In front, they score! Pat LaFontaine setting up Hanpa. And the Islanders regain a 2-goal lead. Tremendous effort by Pat LaFontaine.
And he gets it out into the slot. He holds that stick with one hand. It looked like Rocket Richard used to do many years ago, but LaFontaine just going down the right side. Now watch him drop it in the slot. Now Van Beesbrook doesn't know what to do, so he goes and just slides to that side. He knows the pass. Here's LaFontaine. Now the defense pushes him wide. Tommy Laidlaw's job is to push him wide like that. But LaFontaine gives it out front, and nobody picks up Hanpa. And Hanpa actually got that puck off the heel of his stick. He didn't get it the way he wanted.
Get all of it, no.
Yeah, hit the the heel of his stick and went to where Van Beesbrook was coming from.
5-3 Islanders as Eric Hanpa gets the goal. McIver chased by Alan Kerr, drops it off. Thomas Sandstrom. Bassett picks up the puck. Makela picks up his 4th point of the game. 2 goals and 2 assists. I think Makela is going to have a big year. He had a good year last year in his rookie season, but I think now that he's accustomed to the league, again, a European player coming over, making the adjustment, I think he's going to have a big year.
Sam, look at their depth chart on right wing. Terry Simpson likes Alan Carr, who's playing tonight wearing number 10. And you've got the Flatley Bossy, who aren't dressed tonight. You have to think they'll both play right wing. And of course, Bossy will, but Flatley didn't have a great year last year, but I'm sure he'll make the team. Then you got Makela, Carr, Tom Weiss, and Brad Delgarno. I'd have to think Delgarno's still eligible for junior. Delgarno will be back in junior. So they're pretty good on the right side, and up center ice is where their strength is. Sutter and Trottier.
Tom Weiss with the puck. Kept in. Karkner shot his glove by Smith. Lost the rebound, and he covers up. Larouche almost poked it in. Playing the role of sniper. Those quick hands. Larouche almost knocked it in before Smith knew what happened. But Smith finally gained control. 12:13 left, 3rd period.
This period, all of his shots have been on goal. That last one, that shot from the left point, trickled in. Smith had to make a couple of saves. The goal that Gagne scored was a shot off the post, and the Karkner was in a little deep once. He put it right in the middle of Billy Smith's pads, and that's effective.
It's interesting. He's had a better game offensively than he has defensively.
And he's noted more for his defense coming out of junior than his offense. He was one of the all-star defensemen in the Ontario Hockey League last year with Peterborough. He's getting beat to the outside tonight 3 times.
Karkner again, just wide that time. Melnick comes down to play toward the net. Miller knocked down by Delgarno. Erickson works in the corner. Conroy is there for the Islanders. And finally worked free and cleared out by Randy Wood. Back into the Islander zone. This is Gordonine with the puck. Around and out. Melnick there to stop it. Kelly Miller checked by Delgarno. Delgarno likes to use the body.
Well, he's big. He didn't have a great year offensively. His first round draft pick in 85, only 22 goals.
Crowd loves it. Huber, that's his 3rd time. Here's a 2-on-1. Sandstrom shoots, and a save by Smith. He got a piece.
Just a piece. Good play by Sandstrom, taking that shot from where he did.
Sandstrom pulled down in center ice. Rangers recover the puck. Laidlaw whacked that by Makela. Huber's had 3 real good hits in this game. That lead penalty call. Lead for Sandstrom. He was tripped up going in. Rangers will get a power play. 11:08 to go in the 3rd period. Islanders lead 5-3. LaFontaine goes off.
Interference. A nice play by Maloney, feathering that pass into Sandstrom, and LaFontaine pulled him down. Rangers on their 2 power plays did not score, but were effective. Got some good shots on net. Hit crossbar once. Billy Smith came up with a couple of fine saves. We'll watch Pierre Larouche work from the center spot, and McIver working 1 point with Willie Huber. And you know you're going to see a lot of Huber on the point on the power play this year with Reijo Ruotsalainen not around.
Beesbrook handling the puck. One thing that we'll look for during the course of the season, John Van Beesbrook's puck handling, especially with Eddie Jockman working with him. 2-line pass whistled against the Rangers.
There's one thing Eddie Jockman can teach in that, and he can teach handling the puck, but the smart play. I mean, he had that himself. That's
natural.
But I tell you, John Van Beesbrook has shown a lot of that. He may have some trouble handling the puck on occasion, but I think he's excellent at handling the puck behind the net. I think he makes the smart play with the puck. He'll always put it to the opposite side. He'll
he
get
got
that
burned last season.
Every goaltender,
behind the net.
You watch one team all year long, you're going to see most goaltenders are going to get burned once or twice during the season.
There's Sal. You can't argue goaltending with this man. Sal Messina is the Will Rogers of goaltenders. He never met a goaltender he didn't like.
Of course not. You got to give those guys a lot of credit. That's the most pressure-packed job in the league. Brian Williams, our producer, saying Pat Riggin about goaltenders that I didn't like. I like the guy. I don't think he's a great goaltender.
Gagne goes across against Conroy. Nice feed of McIver. Weaves his way in. Try to put it in front with block. McIver looking to make the pass.
And Gordy Dineen made a beautiful play. Now, Dineen, all he could do was try to spread out and prevent McIver from making the pass, and that's what he did. But the man was open. He definitely knows what to do with the puck, though. McIver danced his way in there.
Rangers got called for a stick above the shoulder, touching the puck with the stick above. 10:17 to go, third period, and 1:09 left in the penalty to Pat LaFontaine. Islanders leading 5-3. Ranger rookie signed as a free agent, Norm McIver, out of University of Minnesota Duluth. Outstanding assist man at Minnesota Duluth.
No, he needs the size. So the size is strength. Right. The strength and size is something that could keep him down in the American League maybe this year. But he certainly knows what to do with the puck. And well, he pranced in. He was really dancing on his skates as he came in to make that play.
And Beesbrook alertly plays the puck. Karkner and Huber on the back line as the Rangers try to get the power play organized, but can't do it. Now Karkner picks it up. Penalty is upcoming. Penalty coming up on the Islanders. It's going to be a two-man advantage. Roughing is the call, and now we got something going as Podubny got in there, and some pushing and shoving went on. I think one thing the Rangers have to be careful of here is losing what might be a two-man advantage.
Well, I think, Sam, more important was, you know, they may lose this two-man advantage.
Karkner and Curran. Now, Curran's a rough guy.
Well, one of the rough
He's
ones.
going at Karkner. Well, I'll tell you, Islander fans have to be happy about Brian Curran. This is one of the reasons they got him. They wanted a tough guy, and he is clearly showing his toughness here. Karkner coming back.
That's a plus for Terry Karkner.
Karkner not backing off or giving up. He just kept going.
And, you know, Karkner was being used on this power play, Sam. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the reason he's being used right now is the shots he put on goal earlier in this period. And Ranger coach Ted Sater liking that. Terry Karkner doesn't. And you see Curran wiping himself a little bit. But Karkner certainly making some points. We don't know how that started, but it was a rough. What I was going to say was, when Podubny came in, so what if you lose a power play? It's a preseason game. But you're showing a little togetherness on that play. Sandstrom was roughed along the boards, and the Rangers took a little bit of exception to it. And that's something they need, is a little bit of togetherness. And I like that.
And what you're looking at here is one of the reasons, as Brian Curran pointed out, that there was some blood on his forehead that he wanted to get tended to. That's why he did not go directly to the penalty box. And now he's going in after being toweled off. 9:54 to go in this third period. Let's see if how it all started here.
It was a roughing call. There's the play. Sandstrom gets pushed into the boards. He was a couple of feet away. Was that Hunter?
That looked like, I thought that was Kerr.
Kerr, okay. It was a number 2, and Kerr wears number 10. That's the only reason I didn't think it was him. It was 20, Bassett. Bassett was the guy. Right. Bassett made the original hit. And then as they were congregating, I think it was Podubny came in to bump Bassett because he objected to it. When a guy is 3 or 4 feet away from the boards, as Sandstrom was, and you hit him up top, he'll go head first into the boards. Players don't like that as much as if you're skating close to the boards and you're hit. You won't get hurt as easily as you would from where Sandstrom was. He was away from the boards, and he really took a dive into the boards when he was hit. We'll have to see who instigated or precipitated those or the big fight, but there was also the Podubny coming in with a little bit of a bump.
Right now, referee Dave Newell talking things over at the official scorers table. There's 9:54 to go, third period. We'll be back in just a moment with the Islanders leading 5-3. Being sorted out right now, and we will pick them up for you. The Rangers still have 46 seconds to go on the original penalty to Pat LaFontaine. Bob Bassin's going to get a 2-minute penalty.
It's a boarding.
It's boarding, okay.
Kalkner each pick up 5 minutes for fighting. There is no instigator call made.
All right, so the Rangers will have a 5-on-3 skating advantage with 9:54 to go in this third period. LaFontaine.
Jack Birch down there behind the bench. Reg Higgs usually does that throughout the season. Jack Birch upstairs. Now they've reversed roles. But Jack will be upstairs during the season.
Jack getting a chance to work the bench. Give him a different view of the game. Ranger two-man advantage has 40 seconds left. And Beesbrook stops it for McIver. McIver, Huber, Larouche, Sandstrom, and Podubny. McIver takes it to the line, sends it around. Smith stops the puck. Conroy plays the boards, it's out.
I don't like to see that. You have a two-man advantage. No reason why you have to dump the puck in the zone. You have to make that play. You got to carry it into the zone and make the play.
Keep control. Huber holds it. Rangers set up. Two-man advantage, 12 seconds to go. LaRouche, score!
Right, you see Billy Smith give a little bit away the short side. 5-4 hockey game. And McIver with a nice pass to LaRouche. Smith's concern was, you see him shaking his head. He knew he gave away too much of the short side. He was too much concerned with what was in front of the net. And because of that, he didn't cover the short side. You'll watch. You can't really tell on that one, but there were two players in front. And LaRouche is such a smart player. He may have figured that, here we go, LaRouche, face-off circle. No way he should score short side. Smith gave it away and then could not get that right pad over. Now, he was concerned with what was in front of the net and was anticipating LaRouche passing the puck rather than shooting.
And Rangers still have a power play. It came on the two-man advantage, so now it's a 5-on-4 skating advantage for the Rangers for another minute 5. Rangers are offside. LaRouche, if anybody can score a goal like that, it's LaRouche. He's so quick. The hands are so quick.
You see, it's a guessing game many times between a shooter and a goalie, especially the quality of a Pierre Larouche who can do so much. Larouche could angle his stick and then turn it around on you. I mean, he could have had that stick as if he were going to make that pass, and then he could just turn his or flick his wrist and then put it on the opposite side of the net. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what he did on that particular shot. It's really a guessing game, one-on-one many times.
Cross ice, it comes to McIver, checked by Kerr. McIver around behind for Paymont. Paymont still with the puck, looking. Still with it. Huber with room. His shot saved by Smith.
Rangers getting the shot from the point, also on the power play. And their classic play is get it out to the point and then go to the net. Willie Huber had the shot. He got it up about 2 feet off the ice where Smith was able to get his hands on it, which is a little higher than I think Huber wanted to. And Smith, by getting his hands on it, is able to control the rebound, not allow a rebound. If the shot's a little lower, he can't do that. He may be able to kick it in the corner. But that's it. Get the shot out to the point, and everybody go to the net, what the Rangers did on that play.
The Ranger goal, LaRouche from McIver and Huber. Power play goal at 10:43. LaRouche had a power play goal in the last game Friday night against St. Louis. Got to make Phil Esposito happier. Shot by Sandstrom, deflects just wide. Podubny back to McIver. Now to Podubny. To McIver with a shot deflected wide to the near boards. Islanders clear it out. Good play along the boards by Roger Kortko.
I think it makes Ted Sater a lot more happy because, Phil said if the Rangers don't win.
Well, but it's the power play. You know, Phil, he's a power play man. He loves to see it. And I think that's one thing that concerns him a lot. Here's Huber for a drive, deflected wide. The rebound, loose. Sandstrom has it. 5 seconds to go on the power play. Huber to Sandstrom along the boards. Now to Huber. Back to Sandstrom. Team's at full strength. In front, deflection goes wide. And then Jensen got knocked down.
Jensen made a nice little play there. He tried to a little delayed deflection because he knew he didn't have the angle, and Sandstrom put it on net, and he just tried to tip it so it slowed down and caught the far corner.
LaFontaine trying to beat Jackson, slowed down. Nice pass to Makela, shot it wide. Makela looking for a hat trick. He's had 2 goals and 2 assists. 7:20 to go, third period. 5-4, Islanders lead it. Beesbrook steers to Melnick. Near side, Jackson tied up with Makala. And taken away by LaFontaine, looking in front for Hanpa. He's knocked down. Penalty call. Going to be cross-checking. Paymont knocking down Hanpa, but that was one where Hanpa was lined up to blast one into the net. 7:04 to go, third period. Islanders power play coming up.
Paymont picking up the penalty. Just cross-checked Ari Hanpa right in front of the net. The time, 12:56. Islanders 1 for 5 thus far on the power play. Get another opportunity to take a 2-goal lead once again.
Rangers have never led in the game. They've been tied 1-1 early in the first period. That's it. Islanders led 3-1 out of the first, 4-2 out of the second. Melnick plays the boards out. Good play at the line by Laidlaw, and here's Melnick to the puck. Melnick, Laidlaw, Erickson, and Miller. Here's Miller. Comes down against Basson. Boyd trying to take the puck away. Randy Boyd, number 8, has it. Near boards to Richard Crom, number 35. And now the Islanders come out. This is Gord Dineen, number 2. And Beesbrook looks, goes up the middle. Oh, good play by Jan Eriksson, deflecting that pass all the way down. Heads up play.
And Beesbrook didn't get much on that either. And fortunate that Eriksson was able to get there.
And another fine play by Eriksson to Deblois. Here's a game where Jan Eriksson, there won't be any points on the board for Eriksson, but he's had an outstanding game. Cleared by Huber. 6 minutes left, third period. 55 seconds to go on the Islander power play. 5-4, Islanders leading it. Conroy. Hanpa broken up, then shot in. Van Beesbrook gloves it, leaves it for Jackson off the glass and out.
Islanders had a couple of defensemen really looking for jobs tonight, and you think of the leader playing most of the game, Kenny Later, and Brian Curran also. You don't know if he's got a guaranteed job, Sam. You know the 3 guys that aren't playing tonight, Potvin or Morrow is playing tonight. Right. But Potvin and Janssen have positions, yeah.
Nice play by LaFontaine, just missed connection by Makala with Makala, and it's cleared.
Conroy is in. Gord Dineen off the fine second half of the year last year is in. So there are a couple of spots open on that Islander defense.
Here's Dineen trying to get by Laidlaw. Dineen to the goal line, works his way in front and slid away. Dineen again, teams at full strength. That shot stopped by Van Beesbrook. Gets rid of it to Jensen. And the lead out to Wilf Paymont. Trailing is Gagne. Paymont with a shot that's kicked out by Smith. Paymont hit by Dineen. Boyd plays the boards. Melnick stops and shoots all the way into the corner. 4:45 left, third period. 5-4 Islanders.
Another play that started with a nice pass by Chris Jensen out of the Rangers. Another play. Here's Jensen now, who has to gain a little upper body strength and would handle the puck very well.
Paymont is bumped but still has the puck. Jensen out in front. Paymont back. Shot by Jackson. Wide. Off the boards. Jackson stops it at the point. Keeps it into Paymont. In the corner, it's Chris Jensen. Jensen works his way free. Back up the boards for Jackson. Rangers applying pressure here. Paymont try to center. Here's Gagne poking it free. And the Islanders will play it. Kortko gets rid of it to Tom Weiss. Clears the zone. 4 minutes left in the third period. Dale Henry forechecking on Huber as the Rangers come out. Morrow takes it back. And Beesbrook has it hop over a stick. Dale Henry goes for the puck. Jackson to Huber. Sandstrom with Miller and Donnelly. Sandstrom carrying. Drives one. Glove. What a shot by Sandstrom. Oh.
It's amazing. 65-footer, as powerful as that is. It's a shot that almost beat Billy Smith, and everybody would have blamed him, but that was some shot.
Nice bump in center by Laidlaw. Donnelly goes after the puck. He's hit by Delgarno. Sandstrom puts it in the Islander zone. Delgarno gets it back. Across the line. Comes Randy Wood. His shot deflects wide off Laidlaw. Delgarno centers. Van Beesbrook got a stick on it. Rangers clear it out. 3 minutes to go in the third period. Islanders 5 and the Rangers 4. Thursday night, the opening game of the regular season. Rangers and New Jersey Devils here at Madison Square Garden. Game night is at 7 o'clock. But Dubney with a one-hand shot, he scored! What a play! The power of Wolf Podubny! And it's tied 5-5.
And he beat a guy with bad knees who we talked about could be a little questionable. Only his second preseason game. Kenny Morrow beaten on the play by Walt Podubny. And it was power, and it was also speed on the play. And Billy Smith went down a little early. And that allowed him. Watch Podubny make the inside. Now he goes outside, and he accelerates and leans in on Morrow. He beats, well, look at Smith. He's down way too early on the play. And that's the only reason. Now, as Smith stands up there, no way he's going to put this. See, Smith, he was also worried about Podubny maybe cutting in front of him. So he put the stick out. By putting the stick out and going down, he allowed the upper part, or he opened up the upper part of the net. But a great play by Walt Podubny.
Score tied 5-5 with 2:40 left in regulation time. Melnick. Second time of the game the Rangers have tied. The first time was 1-1. Here's the lead for Podubny. He shot it wide. May have shot it a little too early.
Well, you know something? Phil Esposito mentioned it earlier. He didn't like the players getting in too close when they shot.
Right.
That was a perfect place to shoot from if you're going to let a slap shot go, because you see more of the net. The closer you get, that goaltender cuts the angle. He takes away a lot of the net on you.
Islanders come out. Ari-Erik Hanpa comes in with a shot. Knocked away with a blocker by Van Beesbrook. Boy, he looks sharp. Huber with a hit in the corner on Hanpa. Podubny lifts it out of the zone. 2 minutes left in regulation time. 5-5 the score. This is icing. Touch made by Randy Boyd. 1:56 to go. Rangers have trailed by 2 goals 3 times. They have rallied to tie.
Picked up. Islanders and Rangers 5-5. Goals are going in. The hitting is there. The crowd is up.
There's been some good individual plays.
Absolutely. Oh, some great ones. Islander plays by LaFontaine. Makela, a couple of beauties. And, Podubny, of course, for the Rangers. And Gagne with his hustle all over the place here in the third period. And, of course, Dwayne Sutter, who we haven't seen much of.
He's been on to kill a penalty.
He played a lot in that first period. Have we seen much of him here in the third period?
No, not all that much.
Is he on the bench? No, he's on the ice. So he's still in the game.
There you go.
He's playing left wing, which is a new position that he started playing last year, and the Islanders like him there.
Racing for the puck, Jan Eriksson gets tripped up. That shot is blocked. And Curran picks up the puck. Boyd lost his stick, but the Islanders able to clear the zone. Jackson gets to the puck before Basson. Huber clears it into the corner.
Basson's very aggressive center iceman. He's looking for his spot as that fourth center iceman.
Sandstrom tries another blast, and it goes wide. Morrow quickly moves the puck. Kerr with the lead. This is Dwayne Sutter. In against Laidlaw. Now the other side against Gagne. Centered for Kortko. Kortko looking in front. The wraparound. Save. The rebound. Another save.
Again, the Islanders storm the net, and again, Sutter is involved in front. This time it's Kortko with a fine play. And I think it was Pierre Larouche helping out in front, and Will Taymont doing a job. Look at the play. McIver is doing a job trying to keep a man out. A little bit of holding going on. Right, somebody's pulled down. I'm trying to make out who it was who did a little bit of the grabbing. Was that Tommy Laidlaw? But here's the play. The good pass out by Kelly Miller. Eriksson picks up the puck, and that's a trip. I was going to say, well, maybe the replay will show it wasn't a trip because the trip wasn't called, but that's certainly a trip.
1:03 to go in regulation time.
Eriksson fortunately didn't get injured, went right into the post, the right post.
Injury is becoming a dirty word around here.
Kelly Kissio, Helmanen, Greshner, McPhee, who scored a goal in the first period, taken to the hospital with a collarbone problem.
Possible fractured collarbone. And those nagging injuries, a groin injury to Lambert, the back injury to Levens. Crawford's got sprained knee. Hanpa, backhander block, good play by Laidlaw. McIver working it up the board. boards. Islanders keep it in. Hanpa again, hit by Podubny. Kick free, and the Rangers get it. Deneen almost gave it away to Maloney.
Dave Newell not calling very much, but Dubny took down LaFontaine right in front of him and right in front of the Ranger goal. And he had nothing to say about that one.
Puck deflecting over the boards. 29 seconds to go in regulation time.
Some words between Tommy Laidlaw and Pat LaFontaine. That's easily settled by the linesman.
A little bit of everything in tonight's game. A few fisticuffs on the ice. Brian Curran and Terry Karkner had a pretty good one.
Tommy Laidlaw has been throwing the body quite a bit. But we had the back problem to finish off last season. Back injuries always make you a little tentative.
I like the way Huber's played.
Yeah.
Had a good game.
Slow start. I remember reading Phil Esposito's quote.
Oh, that
one of
first
the games. Willie
stunk.
That's being blunt.
That's
not many general managers are as blunt as Phil Esposito has been. And he's only been on the job for 6 months.
Willie has played well tonight, that is for sure. Deneen sends it in. The bouncer stopped by Van Beesbroek. Karkner gets to it around the boards to Jan Eriksson. 18 seconds left in regulation time. 5-5 the score. Smith gets to the puck in the corner. Kelly Miller bumped there by Conroy. Courtco steers it around to Tom Weiss. Lost it. 6 seconds left in regulation time. Deneen almost gave it away, and Smith has to cover it.
What does that remind you of?
Steve Smith. Bank it in off your goaltender in the Edmonton-Calgary series.
You know, Gordon Deneen was trying to put that in the corner and hit off one of his teammates right in front. Kelly Miller looks like he's going to be on the right side again. Sam, he played left side, if you recall, in the playoffs last year. Came out of Michigan State, played right side. He played with Kenny Leiter. Now you see Deneen trying to shoot it up. Now here he hits somebody behind the net. So that wasn't as dangerous a play as what Steve Smith did. Steve Smith was going up ice with the play and hit his goaltender. But Deneen was just trying to make the play. A couple of seconds left. Get the puck into the corner. It's not going to hurt you there.
Rangers have pulled the goaltender with 2 seconds left in regulation time as they set up a quick shot opportunity here.
They've made a lot of tests about this. They say it takes at least 3 seconds to score a goal in a situation like this. So there's 2 seconds on the clock, and Ted Sater is gambling. He could lose a game if the Islanders should win the face-off and shoot it down.
Somebody could fire it down.
Yeah, but they feel it would take 3 seconds for a goal to be scored. They've never been able to do it quicker than 3 seconds. Even in winning the face-off, you can't get right to a guy and shoot it down ice.
Got to take that long. Larouche and Courtco on the face-off. And that'll do it. Regulation time is over. So for the second time in our preseason broadcast, it is time for overtime. The Rangers lost here at Madison Square Garden to the Flyers 3-2. John Van Beesbroek looked very good in goal after replacing Doug Sotart. And they'll play overtime. Rangers coming from behind. They were down 4-2 end of the second. It's 5-5 as we head for overtime. Time in that third period, Rangers down 4-2. Gagne scored at 51 seconds to make it 4-3. Terry Karkner got the assist on that goal, and Hanpa made it 5-3 at 6:23. LaFontaine and Makela the assist, and Larouche from McIver and Huber on a 5-on-3 power play, 10:43, 5-4. Podubny from Maloney and Laidlaw at 17-13 ties it at 5-5. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the program without the expressed written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, is prohibited. Don't forget, the season opener is Thursday night, October the 9th. The Rangers and the New Jersey Devils will be on the air with Game Night at 7 o'clock. And then the game at 7:30, the Devils and the Rangers, as that rivalry begins to get better and better. Devils are going to be tough. Fine young players getting better. Kirk Muller in his third year. John McClain getting better. Greg Adams. Anders Carlson, the rookie.
Excellent preseason for them. They don't have Chico this year.
Chevrier will be in goal. Sudden death for the loser, sudden victory for the winner. 5 minutes of overtime here. And a tie if neither team scores.
you wonder, this is preseason. During the season, you see play pretty much close to the vest in overtime. I wonder if the team would open up a little bit since it is a preseason game.
Rangers have Podubny centering for Maloney on the left, Deblois on the right. Huber and Jackson on defense. Don Jackson in his first game with the Rangers since coming over from Edmonton.
See a little less use of Norm McIver, especially now with Kalkner spending a lot of time in the box. He didn't have all his defensemen, did Ted Sater. But you see in a tight game at the end, McIver being used mostly power play.
Put in front, kicked out by Smith. The rebound loose. Work free by Podubny. Podubny checked by Makela. And Deneen sends it around. Hit by Deblois and Hanfa. Huber shot deflected, hit the post. Hit the outside of the post off the deflection. 40 seconds gone by in overtime as Don Jackson picks it up. Maloney. Morrow fires it out to center. McIver sends it back into the Islander zone. Morrow to Alan Kerr. Now it's Ken Leiter pushing it ahead. Broken up by McIver, and Laidlaw has the puck. Miller was being held. Here's the shot by Eriksson. It's stopped. Smith with a good save on Jan Eriksson. Alan Kerr has the puck. 1:20 gone by. Almost given away by Kerr, who takes it out. Rink wide at Wayne Sutter. Sutter and McIver. Nice play by McIver to Miller. Now it's Eriksson. To Sandstrom. Laidlaw coasting in with them. Curran has the puck and sends it around the boards. Islanders try to come out. Melnick there to break up the play. Gagne takes it down the board. Gagne fires it across. Missed connection with Paymon. Crom clears the zone. Kartner breaks it up. 2 minutes gone by in overtime. 5-5 is the score as Kartner sends it ahead. Islanders clear out. Kartner is there. Right up with Kortko.
Both teams looking to dump in. Not getting it either. Not getting it in deep. And games, mostly this overtime, should play between the two blue lines.
There's Larouche waiting for it. Cross ice. It comes to Paymon. He's in. Saved by Smith.
He didn't have anything to shoot at. Billy Smith did not allow it. Paymon looked like he was trying to put it between the pads of Billy Smith, and Smith just closed up. Wolf Paymon. There's a nice feed in to Paymon. Paymon with a shot, and you see he had the legs open. Smith had the legs open. Looks like he closed them up. Gagne with a nice pass.
He showed it to him, and he took it away.
And, that's pretty difficult to do. It's very hard to close your legs once you have them open on goal skates. You cannot do it as quick as you can push the legs out. There's Will Paymon, but he scored close to 350 goals in his National Hockey League career, and he knows what to do with the puck. Billy Smith, a good save.
Podubny and LaFontaine on the draw. 2.5 minutes to go. Midway through the overtime session. Feed for Jackson. He scores! And the Rangers win!
Well, nice pass, Donnie Maloney, as the Rangers kept that face-off in deep. And Don Jackson not afraid to pitch in from that left point. He was in pretty deep. Face-off, Charlie.
You think that doesn't make that man happy? Don Jackson, the newest New York Ranger. Just over from the Edmonton Oilers, scores in overtime. Yes, it's preseason, but it's a nice way to end the preseason. On a winning note, a come from behind. 3 times the Rangers were down by 2 goals, and here Don Jackson scores in overtime.
Watch the Rangers off the face-off, going deep. Podubny with the puck. The puck goes back behind the net. Now, Don Maloney's going to win the battle from Steve Conroy. He's going to come out with a puck. There he takes Conroy away, makes the move. Jackson pitches in. You see him come into the picture right now. He takes the shot on Billy Smith and beats him and looks between the glove hand and his body. But Don Maloney winning that battle along the boards with Conroy to play.
That's the Don Maloney that we're used to seeing working the boards, that Phil Esposito said that's Maloney's role. Get the puck out.
He's got to win those battles along the boards, and that's how you win hockey games.
Preseason is over. The final preseason game goes to the Rangers 6-5 in overtime.
at 232 by Don Jackson, the newest member of the New York Rangers, acquired on Friday night from the Edmonton Oilers. Quite a debut.
Yeah, it's fun, I guess, you know.
What about your first game as a Ranger, preseason anyway, but still?
Well, today's the first day I met the guys, and, you know, you're a little nervous stepping on the ice. You know, they're kind of watching you a little more. And as the game went on, it just felt like the regular season, and just got more comfortable as the game went on.
It seemed that as the game went on, you just started to really feel your way around the ice a lot better.
You felt more relaxed. I felt more confident where I could step up and pinch, and that's my game, and playing the body and things like that.
All right, let's show you the winning goal. I know you're going to enjoy it, and I'm going to let you co-pilot the ship here. Tell us what happened.
The play went behind their net, and their defenseman came to the puck, and I was anticipating that it was going to come around to that far winger, and that's my job, is to kind of pinch up on him. And as I saw that we got possession of the puck, I just slid in inside the winger, and I guess it went between his legs. So
that's the key word that Sam Rosen and Sal Messina used, pinch, and so important for a defenseman to fill the area that has been vacated.
Right, it's better to stay aggressive and try to keep the puck in their end, because if you don't, the puck ends up in your own end, and then, you know, ends up in our net possibly. So.
What is Don Jackson going to add to the New York Rangers?
Well, you know, I'm 6'3", so you know, it's not too hard to figure out, and I'm going to just do what I did that got me here. Just move the guys out of the front of the net and move the puck up to the forwards and play it simple.
If you play it simple, do you also play it tough?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's, I guess, what got me here. I play tough with the Oilers, and you just have to go out there and hit, and that's basically the name of the game. And I don't know what kind of rules they're going to keep on during the regular season, but if they do, it's going to be harder for guys like us. But so I'm looking forward.
Well, welcome to New York. Nice opening night debut. It certainly will be one that you'll remember.
Thank you. I'd like to say hello to the Eckfish Farm in Cheney, Kansas. They're watching us on satellite. So, hi, folks, and here I am in New York.
Okay, congratulations. Don Jackson scores the game winner in overtime at 2:32 as the Rangers defeat the Islanders 6-5. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
Trailed 4-2 into the second, and we're trailing 5-3 when they got their comeback going. Larouche power play goal made it 5-4, and then Walt Podubny at 17-13 of the third period. A tremendous effort here.
Absolutely. Accelerate. Here's the little move inside. That's what beats Ken Morrow. He now goes outside. He leans in on him. He's using speed, power, deceptiveness, and Billy Smith goes down a little too early. That tied the game up. The Rangers win in overtime, but a play that everybody in the Ranger organization is going to love.
Rangers outshoot the Islanders 38-20, win in overtime at 2:32, 6-5. We'll be right back. Don Jackson got the game winner at 2:32 of overtime, and Don Maloney coming up with a big assist as well. Rangers defeat the Islanders 6-5 in overtime. Thanks to Sal Messina for joining us in the preseason. We'll see you during the course of the year, hear you during the course of the year, but thanks for filling in for John Davidson.
It was fun and a pleasure, Sam.
Sal's got connections to keep John off the air. Don't forget the regular season, Thursday night, the Rangers and the Devils, game night at 7 o'clock right here on Madison Square Garden Network, followed by the season opener, the Rangers and Devils at Madison Square Garden. For Sal Messina and Bruce Beck, this is Sam Rosen. Thanks for being with us. This has been a presentation of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated through the facilities of Hughes Television Network on Madison Square Garden Network. So long, everyone.